and made a cheering gesture, saying, "Seer will catch up with you sisters." Then, Cheng Bingshi's pretty face turned red. "Also, we need to make a division when it comes to Xiaoyi's exercise time allocation. We can form a team or come individually, but we don't want a waves of beast girls to pester him in one day. A group of beast girls must come to him every day to exercise. If we can buy kidney treasure items in the mall to improve that function, or to replenish the kidneys, take them all, so that Xiaoyi will have the energy to do other serious things after exercising with us." Speaking of this, Nangong Saya was no longer sleepy. Her little face was full of excitement. She raised her hand and said, "I want to team up with Sister Bingshi." Easier looked at Mu Qingzu, "Do you want to team up with me?" Mu Qingzu shook her head. "No, I want to come alone." Easier thought of her good friend, the white-haired girl. It would be great if the white-haired girl was Xiaoyi's beast girl, then they could form a team. Ziran and Yunbing glanced at each other. Their faces blushed, and they looked away as soon as their eyes met. The white-haired girl was eavesdropping outside the door, her face filled with shock. "Oh my god. This is what we talked about in family meetings. It really broadens my horizons." However, she also wanted to listen. She was determined to become Xiaoyi's beast mother in the future. Now she could only stand outside the door and eavesdrop. In the future, she would be a member of the meeting inside. Cheng Bingshi coughed in a clear voice. Her face flushed and she said seriously, "Everyone, don't be so frivolous. This is a very serious meeting." Many beast girls' faces were red. How could they stay serious in a meeting with this kind of content? Cheng Bingshi looked at Ziran Yunbing and said, "You two are too far ahead of Xiaoyi in realm. You can't form a team. Otherwise Xiaoyi won't be able to withstand her destruction." Sister Ziran and Sister Yunbing, do you agree with my point of view? Ziran Yunbing nodded. "I agree. Whatever Sister Bingshi says is what it is." "That's right. I don't want to team up with my best IE. Yeah, that's too embarrassing. I can't let go during the battle." Cheng Bingshi said, "Very good. You can't form a team now, but when Xiaoyi's realm catches up with you, you can form a team." Ziran Yunbing hurriedly shook her head and said, "No, we won't form a team. We want to come individually." Cheng Bingshi nodded. "It's up to you whether to form a team or not. I won't force you. One last thing. This is also the most important thing. We must maintain a united front on this matter." The girls all became curious. And the most important thing was, what was it? Cheng Bingshi said, "We can't let Xiaoyi find another beast girl. Sister King Cheng and Sister Yun, she will be Xiaoyi's last beast girls." Upon hearing this, all the women agreed. "I support Sister Bingshi. Xiaoyi already has 9 beast girls. If there are more, he won't be able to take care of them all." "Yeah, that's true. Xiaoyi is only one person. But we have 9 people." Only Easier hesitated and did not speak. Cheng Bingshi nodded in satisfaction. "Okay, the meeting ends here. I'll have the next meeting when I think it over." At this time, an anxious white-haired girl rushed in from outside the door. She puffed up her cheeks and said angrily, "No, I don't agree with the last item of the meeting. I, Emma, also want to be Xiaoyi's beast mother." Cheng Bingshi was stunned. The girls, a hint of helplessness flashed across Ziran's beautiful eyes. The white-haired girl Huangfu Xiangling was angry and aggrieved, and said, "I knew Xiaoyi before Master and Sister Qingcheng, and I fell in love with Xiaoyi before them. In the end, Master and Sister Qingcheng both married Xiaoyi, but I was left alone and didn't marry him. I don't accept it. Master, you stole my man, and you even asked Xiaoyi to stop marrying the beast girl. You are really bullying me. If I can't marry Xiaoyi, I won't live. Master, I want to enjoy your funeral banquet. If I die, you won't have any disciples to give you a feast." Ziran's pretty face darkened. "Xian Ling, are you cursing me to death?" The white-haired girl snorted. "Then Master, let Xiaoyi marry me, and I won't die." Ziran's mouth twitched. As the best friend of the white-haired girl, Easier spoke up for her. "Sister Bingshi, how about letting the white-haired girl join our big family of beast girls, and letting Xiaoyi marry the last beast girl?" Yunbing smiled and said, "I think this white-haired girl is quite interesting. It must be very interesting to marry her husband. She can join us." Cheng Bingshi looked at Huangfu Xiangling deeply, and said hesitantly, "Okay, Emma, if you can convince Xiaoyi to marry you, we will agree to let you join us." The white-haired girl Huangfu Xiangling became excited and asked happily, "Really?" Cheng Bingshi nodded. "Really?" The white-haired girl looked at Ziran. "Master, you won't stop me, right?" Ziran's eyes flashed with helplessness and distress, and she said, "Why should I stop you? Just do whatever you want to do." "Yeah. The white-haired girl jumped up excitedly, waving her hands with joy. Suddenly, a pleasant male voice full of magnetism was heard from outside the door. It was Xiao Yi's voice. He walked in with Yun Shi, Gu Qingcheng, and Zhang Zunan, and said with a faint smile, "Beast girls, what are you stopping? Let me hear it too." A strange look appeared on Gu Qingcheng's face. From now on, her husband would not marry a beast girl, but a rule god girl. This meeting was in vain. From chapter 532 onwards, it will be the origin of rules. Future Gu Qingcheng covered her mouth and laughed secretly in her spiritual sea, saying, "In the future, the brides my husband will marry will all start from the emperor realm, and they are the origin of the rules. Even the planet will girl, the universe will girl, or maybe a soul-body ghost bride. It is true that I will not accept any more beast girls." Gu Qingcheng looked at the white-haired girl and asked in his mind, "Old Gu, what about her? The white-haired girl with twin ponytails. I think my husband would like this kind of white hair. It's interesting and fun, and it has the bonus of twin tails." Future Gu Qingcheng was silent. This white-haired man, during the time period I experienced, when my husband participated in the battle between the Z family and the Hidden World Imperial clan, he died while blocking the damage for my husband, and his soul body also disappeared. My husband didn't marry her. Gu Qingcheng frowned. She looked at Ba Yimo with pity. This girl was a bit pitiful. Nangong Xiao said with a smile, "Xiao Yi, this is a meeting between us beast girls. You can't know about it." Easy, or nodded. Xiao Yi shrugged her shoulders and said, "If you don't want to tell me, then don't tell me. It's normal for women to have some little secrets." He pulled out a small and exquisite palace from his trouser pocket and said with a smile, "Come and see what this is, beast girls." Everyone's attention was immediately drawn to it. Nangong Xiao tilted her head and guessed, "Is this a kidney treasure?" Xiao Yi shook his head and said unhappily, "Si Yao, you have been with me for so long. When have I ever used Xianbao in a decisive battle with you? Am I, Xiao Yi, someone who needs to use Xianba?" Nangong Xiao laughed and said, "You need it. Otherwise we will squeeze you dry." The corner of Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. Ever since the young girl became a young lady, Sister Xiao has become more and more outspoken and can say anything. The white-haired girl said excitedly, "And me, I will also squeeze Xiao Yi dry." Xiao Yi was speechless. "Go away. You are not my beast mother. Why are you joining in the fun?" The white-haired girl smiled. "Just because it's not the case now doesn't mean it won't be the case in the future. Xiao Yi, I'll be waiting for you tonight in black hollow stockings. You have to come." Gu Qingcheng looked at her with pity again and said, "You are a poor person. You won't live long. You will probably be Huang's daughter until you die." Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he ignored her and said to the girls, "This is the Palace of Time and Space, which contains a large world. It took a lot of effort to summon it. I call it a cultivation plugin. 1 day in the outside world is equivalent to 100 days inside. It is a 1:100 ratio. From now on, you can practice inside. I will grant you access rights, and you can come and go freely. I will also carry the main body of the Palace of Time and Space with me at all times. If you want to see me, just use your access permission to come out." When the girls heard this, they all showed joy on their faces. "Great. With this treasure, we will soon be able to catch up with Sister Qingcheng. That's right. I want to be the beast girl who practices the fastest." Sister Saya, "Oh, don't talk nonsense. Qingzu is the one who cultivates the fastest. She can speed up her own cultivation time." "Wait," Xiao Yi said, "let's enter the Palace of Time and Space first and test the time difference. Then let Qingzu experiment to see if we can speed up our own time in the big world inside." The Palace of Time and Space hangs in the air, emitting a mysterious and ancient light. Xiao Yi waved his hand, and a golden light gate appeared, giving the 9 beast girls the right to enter and exit freely. "Follow me." He waved his hand and was the first to step into the golden light gate. Chengbing Shi is the second one. Then came the other beast girls. Ziren glanced at Beaker said, "Xian Ling, whether you can take down Xiao Yi depends on you." After saying that, she also entered the golden light gate. The white-haired girl stomped her feet and jumped towards the golden light gate. But with a bang, she was bounced back by the golden light gate and fell on her butt. The white-haired girl rubbed her butt in pain, looking aggrieved. "I am now all alone, but my best IE and master's dreams have come true." She raised her hand, pointed angrily at the Palace of Time and Space floating in the air, and said tenderly, "What's your name?" "Yes, the Palace of Time and Space. Let me in." The golden light gate of the Time and Space Palace disappeared, and its body also disappeared. No one knew where it went, leaving behind an empty air. White-haired girl. The Palace of Time and Space contains a large world. The place is picturesque with clear water and green mountains, and there is fragrance even though there are no birds singing. There are mountains, waterfalls, streams, oceans and islands, but there are no animals, monsters or other strange life forms. The sky was bright and bright, emitting a soft light that illuminated the vast surface. Xiaoji used his authority to browse through this big world, and found that this big world was extremely large. Millions or even hundreds of millions times larger than the secular world and rule world of Blue Star combined. It was impossible to describe it in words. He can set the time of day and night here to be swapped, and simply set the outside world to have 50 days of day and 50 days of night. In this way, the beast girls here have a concept of time. One day and one night here is equivalent to a whole day on the blue planet outside. How do you feel? Xiao Yi asked. Cheng Bingshi put her hands behind her back and said, the scenery is beautiful, but there is no spiritual energy and no rules here. How can we practice? To break through a great realm, you need to go outside, and to advance to a small realm, you need to use crystal cores to practice? Xiao Yi nodded. That's fine. Then I will complete the origin of the rules of this great world and the laws of the universe. The Palace of Time and Space also has the function of protecting its master, and forcibly grasping the origin of the world and the laws of the universe. It's like a super upgraded version of the Bronze Palace. However, the Palace of Time and Space cannot capture small worlds and planets. Its own domain is extremely huge, probably comparable to the Milky Way. Future Gu King Cheng said helplessly in the sea of spirituality, from now on, my husband will start to contact the origin of rules and start to collect the origin of rules. Gu King Cheng asked in confusion, can the origin of rules also transform like the little maids? Otherwise, how can my husband exercise after taking them in? Future Gu King Cheng nodded. Of course they can. After they transform, they are more charming and handsome than each other, especially those of our Blue Star who give birth to consciousness. Xiaoqi brought the girls to the top of a mountain with the most beautiful scenery in the world. It was surrounded by clouds and mist, with a wide view and high terrain. Gu King Cheng threw out a magnificent super-large palace, which landed on the top of the mountain with a loud bang, and it looked sparkling under the soft light. There are various training rooms and facilities inside, all kinds of training life. We have all the training materials and daily necessities. There's a swimming pool, a playground, a power grid city, an entertainment city, and an adult goods store, she said with a smile. Xiao Yi silently gave a thumbs up to the Queen of Hang House, saying that she is worthy of being my good beast girl and has prepared everything. Okay, everyone, get familiar with the environment, and then we'll check the time difference between here and the outside blue planet, to see if it's really 1 to 100, he said excitedly. Chapter 533, The Hall of Time and Space. White hair with twin ponytails wants to commit suicide. Upon hearing this, all the beast girls immediately transformed into ferocious beast forms. Yin, Roar, Five-Clawed Golden Dragon, Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox, Gluttonous Phantom Spirit Ancestor Cat, Toucan Pang and Q-Will and Virtual Beasts, and Tan, Candle Dragon. 9 giant beasts, each 10,000 meters long, appeared on the top of the mountain, filling the entire sky, except for the Q-Will and Mythical Beast. All others are mythical templates, but the realm of the Q-Will and Mythical Beast is the highest, which is the perfection of the Holy Realm. Xiao Yi scattered out 99 of the rule fragments that he had obtained with great effort in the system space. In an instant, fragments of space rules, time rules, phantom rules, supreme rules, 5 elements attributes, thunder attributes, light and darkness types, auspicious rules, curse rules, devouring rules and so on, were like starlight, filling the entire mountain top and the sky. Then, he took out 99 of the monster crystal cores he owned and placed them on the supergiant square outside the magnificent palace. The total number of Warcraft crystal cores of the Grand Master Realm, Grand Master Realm, Venerable Realm, Grand Venerable Realm, Supreme Realm and Saint Realm exceeded 1 million. They piled up into a small hill in the square, exuding tremendous energy. Taking out these resources and using them on the beast girls was equivalent to using them on himself, so he didn't feel any regret at all. If he needed, there were nearly 10,000 secret realms in the Bronze Palace, ranging from perfect Holy Realm beasts to mortal realm beasts. He could obtain tens of billions of beast crystal cores in minutes. The nine-tailed heavenly fox's eyes lit up when he saw so many resources. This guy is not only a foodie, but also a money G-rubber. There was a flash of surprise in the eyes of the Q-Illin, the incarnation of the Queen of Hang House. The resources her husband possessed were much more terrifying than she had imagined. These resources were several times greater than the total number in her warehouse in the Hanghouse Space City. Xiaoyi said with great wealth, "Wives, take whatever you need. These resources can be used for cultivation or for your consumption in the outside world. If it's not enough, come to me. I have plenty. I'll go out first. You stay here for 4 or 5 days. If a beast girl comes out, I'll check the time difference. King Zhu, you are a divine beast with the attribute of time. Try to see if you can speed up your own time here. When we reach the realm of the Great Venerable, we can speed up the time by 6 times. If possible, your training speed will be 6 times faster than other beast girls and 600 times faster than the outside world." All the beast girls were shocked when they heard this. Ferocious beasts with time attributes are so popular. The 9 divine beasts chatted for a while, then obtained their respective cultivation resources and began to practice. A golden light gate appeared behind Xiaoyi. He turned around and stepped in, returning to the Empress's bedroom in Hanghouse City. "Hey, White Mao, why are you still here?" As soon as he came out, he saw the white-haired girl with an angry face. She was sitting on the sofa with her hands clenched, her cheeks puffed up, and she looked very angry. Wang Fu Xiangling's beautiful eyes lit up. "Xiaoyi, are you unwilling to leave me behind and go out on a date with me alone? I knew you must like my white hair." Her delicate little face immediately turned red, and her anger disappeared in an instant. She jumped close to Xiaoyi, almost touching his face. Xiaoyi took a step back, stretched out his hand to cover her face, and said expressionlessly, "Don't get me wrong, I don't have any feelings for you. Why are you still here? Don't you need to practice?" Wang Fu Xiangling's face suddenly changed. Her pretty face became lifeless, as if she had lost her soul and had no energy. Drops of water dripped down her little face. His small actions and words can cause so much harm. These few words directly hit her self-confidence and made her feel that her life was hopeless and without fun. I understand." The white-haired girl brushed past Xiaoyi like a walking corpse and went outside with her trembling body. Her eyes revealed despair and a look of determination appeared on her pretty face, as if she was about to do something. Xiaoyi, what was this white-haired chick going to do? Then, with a bang, he knew. The white-haired girl with twin ponytails sprinted forward and tried to hit the wall, but a banana peel on the ground made her slip and she fell directly to the ground. What bad luck! First, the confession failed, and then even the suicide attempt failed. "You banana peel, you bully me too. I'm going to fight you." She did a backflip and jumped onto the banana peel. She gritted her teeth and continued to stomp on the banana peel with her feet. She didn't stop even when the banana peel was crushed. Xiaoyi looked at her funny actions and burst out laughing. But halfway through laughing, he found that he couldn't laugh anymore, so he quickly stopped smiling, and his handsome face turned red as if he was trying not to laugh. BMO wants to commit suicide, and it is because of him. Isn't it a bit immoral for him to laugh out loud? This is Ziran's apprentice. What if Baimo commits suicide and Ziran castrates him? Xiaoyi rubbed his brows, walked to the sofa and sat down, patted his left side, and said calmly, "White-haired girl, come here, I have something to tell you." Baimo said in a delicate voice, "No, you don't like me anyway. You didn't feel any pity when you saw me commit suicide, and you even laughed at me. Xiaoyi, you are so heartless. If I fail to commit suicide once, I can still commit suicide a second time, a third time, until I die. I want you to remember me and feel guilty for the rest of your life." Xiaoyi, this white-haired girl is so vicious. No, she can't be allowed to die. Otherwise, I will feel guilty for the rest of my life, and that would be so painful. I don't know how to face Ziran in the future. Xiaoyi changed the subject and said, "Little white-haired girl, I suddenly realized that you are quite interesting. It would be fun to marry you home as my wife." Baimo instantly became full of energy and his whole face lit up. She sprinted to Xiaoyi and sat down, saying coquettously, "Brother Xiaoyi, I know you like me. Let's get married. Okay? Take me home. I'm very fun. If the master can do it, I can do it too. If the master can't do it, I can't do it either. I'll tell you in secret. Master likes to watch action movies. Her body is clean, but her mind has long been polluted. But I, Baimo, have never watched any movies. Not only is my body clean, I'm a cherry pink, but my mind is also very pure." Xiaoyi felt like his bones were all crispy, but he frowned and said, "Whitehair actually said bad things about my wife." Seeing that he frowned, Baimo thought that Xiaoyi did not believe what he said, so he hugged his arms with both hands and said seriously, "Xiaoyi, if you don't believe me, You can check it out right now. I am really a Sakura fan. I have not been contaminated in any way. I am a very pure Sakura fan and my thoughts are also very pure. After he checks on me, he will be responsible for me. Huang Fushi angling. You are so smart. Xiao Yi's eyes wide. What did he want to check on the spot? This white-haired guy is so fierce. Chapter 534, Bet with BAMO. The white-haired girl looked shy. Xiao Yi, hurry up and help me check it out. I will repay you. I will spend my whole life to repay you. Xiao Yi was somewhat tempted, and gave her a look, saying, you said it yourself, and then you just pretended that nothing happened to us. White-haired girl. She hurriedly blocked Xiao Yi's rough hand that was about to explore, and said angrily, no, after you check. You must be responsible for me and marry me. Otherwise, my innocence will be gone and I won't be able to get married. Xiao Yi smiled inferiorly and stopped his actions. He said that it was impossible for such a good thing to fall on your head. It was like pie falling from the sky. Huang Fushi angling. I will solve your template problem now. You haven't used your innate skills or transformed into a ferocious beast in this period of time. The effect of my last treatment for you lasted much longer than I expected. I was a little surprised. Once your template problem is solved, you can go anywhere. Your future achievements will not be limited by the template problem, and your orientation will become completely normal. Huang Fushi angling shrank suddenly, waved her hands, and blurted out what she was thinking. No, you don't have to solve the template problem for me. I want to pester you for the rest of my life. Xiao Yi's face turned dark. I didn't expect that you look cute on the outside, but are so vicious on the inside. No, I'll help you solve the template problem right away. Go and pester someone else. He issued instructions to the template adjuster in his mind, extracting to creation at reboot rule fragments and inserting to devouring rule fragments. After the template problem was fixed, Xiao Yi breathed a sigh of relief. Huang Fushi Anling felt very relaxed and comfortable as never before, but her mood was extremely bad. Her face was full of anger, and she said angrily, Xiao Yi, I will repay you. I will repay you with my whole life. Don't even think about escaping from my grasp. Xiao Yi rubbed his brows, feeling a little headache, and said helplessly, Miss, what do you like about me? I will change it. Can I change it? Huang Fushi Anling glanced down. Her pretty face blushed and she said, I've only seen yours. I like yours when it's big and thick. I also like your face and your tall figure, and your kind heart. Xiao Yi, can you change these? Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. He really couldn't change these things. He said unhappily, damn it, you actually covet my body. You slut. How about I create a clone that will disappear in a day, so you can have fun, and you stay away from me in the future? The white-haired girl licked her red lips, swallowed her saliva, and said, no, I want you, not the clone. If you have the clone, you will be cuckolded, right? Xiao Yi, you want to harm me? Don't even think about it. She opened her little mouth and bit him like a puppy, leaving a tooth mark on Xiao Yi's hand. Now you are born in the year of the dog. Xiao Yi's hand didn't hurt, but the remaining crystal water gave him a headache. Huang Fushi Angling covered her mouth and gasped, hiss, my teeth are about to break. Why are you so stubborn? I am a 6th level master of the venerable realm after all. Xiao Yi curled the corner of his mouth. He was a perfect great venerable, and just one step away from becoming a supreme power. His body had passive defense. This white-haired girl can't break through. There will be a day when no one can break through his defenses. When Xiao Yi thought about the fact that he couldn't break the defenses of those beast girls in the past, he felt sad. Who could understand the feeling of working so hard, but not being able to break the defense? Now the white-haired girl understands. He thought of a solution. So he said, Miss, let me make a bet with you. If you win, I will marry you. If I win, you don't bother me anymore. How about that? Huang Fushi Angling's beautiful eyes lit up. What kind of gambling agreement do you want to talk about? Xiao Yi smiled faintly and said, you work hard to cultivate. And when your realm catches up with mine one day, I will marry you. If you haven't caught up with me, don't bother me. How about it? As the young leader of the Supreme Alliance, you still have some confidence, right? He never revealed the information about the mythical template to the white-haired girl. Huang Fushi Angling was distressed. But master, and you have signed a contract. My upgrade speed is not as fast as master's. How can I catch up with you? No, I have no chance of winning this bet. I won't bet with you. Unless. Xiao Yi was a little disappointed after hearing what she said before. But there was a turn for the better in the end. He happily asked, unless what? The white-haired girl's face turned red. Her head was about to smoke, and she pointed her finger shyly and said, unless you reward me once a month, so that I have some motivation to catch up with you. Don't worry. I won't hold you responsible for the number of rewards. Xiao Yi was stunned. After all, this white-haired girl still wanted his body. Okay, it's settled. You should hurry up and practice. From today on, come find me on the 30th day. Go ahead. The white-haired girl leapt forward and said excitedly, "No, I want it now. Otherwise I'm not in the mood to practice." At this time, a crisp came from the side. Xiao Yi turned around and saw Cheng Bingshi looking at him coldly. He hurriedly kicked Wang Fu Xiangling 10 meters away, adjusted his sitting position, and smiled faintly. "Bingshi, you came out so soon? Your realm is the 5th level of the Great Venerable Realm. You have broken through 2 small levels before entering." Cheng Bingshi held the fierceness and said calmly, "I came out too early and disturbed your fun. Should I go back to the Palace of Time and Space now?" These light words gave Xiao Yi a very oppressive feeling. Xiao Yi's eyebrows jumped. Oh, no. Bingshi's wife is angry. He suddenly felt guilty. Cheng Bingshi was the first one to follow him, but he spent very little time with her these days. Now she had witnessed him doing this again. He walked over, picked up Cheng Bingshi, and kissed her. He whispered something softly in her ear. Cheng Bingshi's pretty face flushed and she whispered, "Yeah." Xiao Yi laughed loudly and rushed into the bedroom. An hour later, he walked out holding Cheng Bingshi's hand. "Bingshi, my dear wife, are you still angry?" he asked with a smile. Cheng Bingshi hit him like a spoiled child and said cockathiously, "I'm not angry anymore. I want to go back to practice. By the way, I just stayed in the Palace of Time and Space for more than 4 days. How long were you outside?" Xiao Yi looked at the clock on the wall, calculated, and said, "About an hour." Cheng Bingshi's beautiful eyes lit up. The time difference between the Palace of Time and Space and the outside world is really 100 to 1. In 1 hour in the outside world, I broke through 2 small realms. I want to practice. Xiao Yi, see you tomorrow. She became excited, waved her hand to summon a golden light gate, and jumped in. Xiao Yi sighed. What should I do if my girlfriend is angry? I will stop being angry after having sex with her. The stupid netizen in my previous life never lied to me. Thank you. In the corner of the sofa, the white-haired girl looked at him with resentment. Her lips spouted so high that you could hang a fish on them. Xiao Yi patted the sofa and said, "Bima, come here. I want to talk to you again." Before he finished speaking, a golden light gate appeared next to him, and a young woman with black twin ponytails jumped out with and a pleasant voice rang out. "Xiao Yi, it's my turn. Nangong Saya, come and favor me." Chapter 535, The Queen of Space Ancestor appears. Xiao Yi was stunned. He just sent one away. Why did another one come? This doesn't give us any time to rest. Nangong Saya exclaimed. "Bima, why are you here? Don't you need to practice?" Bima had a gloomy face and turned his head away without saying anything. Nangong Saya didn't bother to pay attention to her. She hugged Xiao Yi and said excitedly, "Xiao Yi, I have been practicing in there for 8 days, and my realm has been upgraded to the 6th level of the Venerable Realm. How about it? Am I awesome?" Xiao Yi rubbed her head, pulled her ponytails with both hands, and smiled faintly. "Awesome. My Saya is the best. Why did you come out? Do you want to chat with me?" Nangong Saya suddenly glared, pointed her finger, and said, "I haven't touched you for 27 days. You must quench my thirst today." "Oh, it's a relief." Xiao Yi suddenly realized that Nangong Sia was hungry. "Okay, come with me." The two walked into the bedroom and came out an hour later. Nangong Sia's face was rosy. Her skin became more tender, and she said with a giggle, "Okay. King Zhu and the others will be there later. I'm going to practice now." After saying that, she walked into the golden light gate and entered the Palace of Time and Space. Xiao Yi, he actually ran away after using it. Wait, what did Xiao say just now? And King Zhu and the others? He suddenly felt something was wrong and his waist began to ache slightly. Just as I sat down on the sofa and hadn't even had a sip of water, a beautiful woman with long black hair walked out of the golden light gate behind me. She lowered her head so low that her toes were not visible, but she had already reaped the fruits of her labor. Mu Qingzu pursed her lips and said with some difficulty, "Xiao Yi, I have something to ask you. Can you come with me?" She was too embarrassed to say anything as Biehima was still in the living room. Xiao Yi glanced at the white-haired girl with a resentful face, smiled and took Mu Qingzu's hand and walked into the bedroom. "Qingzu, what's the matter? Tell me. There's no one else here. We are an old married couple. There's no need to hide anything." Mu Qingzu snorted. "Who said you were an old married woman? I've been married to you for less than 2 months. And I've been affectionate with you no more than 3 times. After we got married, you left me behind and went to find a new beast girl. I'm almost a widow. Xiaoyi was so embarrassed that he wanted to dig out a 3-bedroom apartment with his toes. He raised his hand and pinched Mu Qingzu's fair face, saying, "Then now, I will make up for what I owe you all at once, okay?" Mu Qingzu nodded and said proudly, "Okay, this is what you said. Not what I suggested. You're the one who wants to make it up to me, not me." This dead T.S. Underi. Obviously very eager, but he won't admit it at all. Xiaoyi understood her very well and said, "Yes, yes, yes. I took the initiative to compensate you. Just accept it. Come on, next time I return to the Magic City, I will upgrade your parents' templates to the quasi-mythical level as a gift to compensate you." Mu Qingzu's eyes turned red, and she dropped her pride and pounced on him directly. 4 hours later, Xiaoyi helped Mu Qingzu out. Both of them felt weak in the knees. Mu Qingzu rolled her eyes and said, "I'm going to practice." Xiaoyi felt a dull pain somewhere and nodded. "Okay, you can always find me if you need anything. I will satisfy you no matter what you ask for." Mu Qingzu entered the golden light gate. Xiaoyi came to the sofa, was surprised to find that there were 4 beast girls here. Lu Ya, Ezr, Ziran, Yunbing. As soon as he appeared, the 4 stunning beast girls looked at him with passionate expressions. Xiaoyi shuddered and smiled bitterly. "What are you talking about? Can I listen?" Ziran burst out laughing and said, "We are all waiting for you. We had agreed that every 100 hours a beast girl would come out to chat with you, play cards and relax. But you didn't leave the bedroom for 4 hours. Xiaoyi sat between Ziran and Yunbing. "One of you is Supreme and the other is Saint Realm. How long does it take for you to break through each realm?" Ziran and Yunbing looked at each other. "It takes about 200 days for a mythical saint to break through a small realm. It takes about 20 days to advance from the Supreme Realm to a small realm." "Great Venerable. It will take about 2 days." Xiaoyi clapped his hands and said happily, "Not bad. In 2 days in the outside world, Sister Ziran, you can break through a small realm, and in more than half a month outside, you can be promoted to the Quasi-Emperor realm." At this moment, his aura surged. The aura of the Supreme Realm of Time at Rebuke was revealed. The first stage of the Supreme Realm, the second stage of the Supreme Realm, the middle stage of the second stage of the Supreme Realm, and then it stayed at the second stage of the Supreme Realm. Ziran took action in time to block the strong wind brought by the breath, preventing the furnishings in the living room from being blown to pieces by the tornado. Yunbing's mouth twitched. "I'm only at the 4th level of the Supreme Realm, and you're 2 levels lower than me. The breakthrough speed is too fast." Liu Ya took a breath and said, "Qingzu has also broken through to the 2nd level of the Supreme Realm. This speed is really fast. As expected of a time attribute template beast girl." Ezr was also stunned. The white-haired girl widened her eyes. "This is the Supreme Realm? When will I ever catch up? I won't be able to do that in my lifetime. Damn it, I shouldn't have agreed to his bet just now. His promotion speed is even faster than Master's. I will never be able to get married in this life." Ziran glanced at her. This disciple looked lost. Was she dumped? Xiaoyi smiled faintly and said, "After being promoted to the Supreme Realm, Qingzu and I can double our time to 12 times faster. From now on, Qingzu's cultivation speed will only be faster." All the beast girls gasped. The white-haired girl became even more desperate. With this speed of cultivation, she couldn't catch up even if she tried her best. It looks like she's going to have to take extreme measures. Just find an opportunity to make the matter a photopompli with Xiaoyi, and then make him take responsibility. Since Master won't stop her anymore, then she should just give in and beg him to create a chance for her. Xiaoyi didn't know what Ba Mao was thinking, and said bitterly, "Let me go into the Hall of Time and Space with you. It's too difficult for me to stay outside. 1 beast girl every hour. I can't handle it. White hair, just do whatever you need to do. As long as you surpass me in realm one day, I will marry you. Bye." Ba Mao clenched her fists. Damn it. This was impossible. She had to take extraordinary measures. Ziran curled her lips. "Xiaoyi, just play outside. You won't be bored with your disciples here. Why do you want to go to the Hall of Time and Space?" Xiaoyi noticed her fiery gaze and shook his head hurriedly. "No, it's too difficult here. He will collapse." Yunbing said, "That's fine. Let's play together inside. No need to come out and waste time." Xiaoyi wanted to hug her and kiss her. "Sister Yunbing, you are so nice." Just when everyone wanted to enter the Palace of Time and Space, the surrounding space suddenly shattered into endless void. In the endless void, Xiaoyi and a group of beast girls were unable to move, and their backs were chilled. Xiaoyi was shocked. What happened? At this time, A figure that reached the sky and the earth appeared in front of everyone. She was 1,000,000 meters tall, standing in front of everyone, radiating a strong imperial power. Xiaoyi and the other beast girls looked up, only to see a super giant and stunning queen wearing a phoenix skirt and with super huge and proud manner. Looking up from the bottom, you can see snow-white long legs and a golden phoenix skirt. The view was blocked by Oran, so the face could not be seen. Xiaoyi thought to himself, the palace is black. The supergiant and gorgeous queen's disdainful voice resounded in the endless void. Just you little guys stole my body? Chapter 536, Being Teased? The ashamed and angry first queen. The imprisoned beast girls were all shocked. Who is this being? How could it be so huge? Looking around, at first glance, they saw a flawless huge body. But upon closer inspection, they seemed to be looking directly at the rules themselves, and their hearts unconsciously began to palpitate. There is also the extremely strong imperial power, which makes people have no desire to resist. Just by looking at the perky butt, one can guess that this is a powerful existence above the quasi-emperor realm. With this kind of existence, even a fart could kill them. Even though Ziran, who was at the highest level of the audience, was calm and composed, she couldn't help but feel her pretty face turn pale and her heart beat fast. It's over, it's over. Who is this? It suddenly appeared. Is there such a powerful being on the blue planet? The voice of the Queen of Space resounded in the endless void. Ziran, Yun Bing, Ezr, Lu Yao Huntuanfu Xiangling were all confused. When did they steal her original body? Can they get their hands on the true body of such a powerful being? Xiaoyi felt the majestic and vast aura of the origin of space, and his heart skipped a beat. The blue star space origin that he had collected some time ago was probably the body of this being that looked like an emperor. Then, they heard the puzzled voice of the Queen of Space echoing in the endless void. Strange. My intuition tells me that the real body is here, but I can't find its existence at all. If Xiaoyi could see through the proud mountain peaks, he would be able to see a strange look on that beautiful face. But they couldn't see it at all. The giant peak was too huge and blocked their view. If this powerful being had children, he would never let the children go hungry. Not only that, even the adults would not go hungry. However, Xiaoyi did not feel any crisis. If this existence insisted on killing them, he would have done it long ago. Moreover, the Bronze Palace and the Palace of Time and Space have the function of protecting their masters. When they and he are fatally injured, they will be taken into the inner world. But the beast girls didn't know that and their faces turned pale. Thinking they were about to die, Xiaoyi said, "Sir, can we talk? You want to find something? We can help you." The arrogant queen looked down and did not see Xiaoyi and the others. She squatted down, revealing her beauty under her skirt. She frowned and her body shrank rapidly from her original height of 1,000,000 meters to 1.8 meters. Xiaoyi and several beast girls only saw her appearance clearly at this time, and they were all filled with amazement. It is so beautiful that it does not seem to exist in this mortal world. Words like natural beauty or stunning beauty are not enough to describe her beauty. She can only be described as a perfect work of art. She stood up. Her eyes that looked up to the stars revealed a peerless pride. And she said, "Your aura remains in my essence storage place. Little guy, you are the one who took my essence away, right? Hand it over quickly, or I will throw you into the starry sky battlefield and fight for our Milky Way forever." Starry sky battlefield? Xiaoyi raised his eyebrows. It was the first time he heard of the existence of a starry sky battlefield. Over the years, there had been no alien invasions on Blue Star, and no alien beasts had invaded Blue Star either. The starry sky is peaceful. Where does the starry sky battlefield come from? Ziran asked. The space ancestor queen sneered. The long-standing peace on Blue Star is only on the surface. Secretly, many people from the previous era on Blue Star have been fighting against foreign races in the starry sky battlefield, carrying the burden for Blue Star. Everyone was shocked. There was a historical fault on Blue Planet tens of thousands of years ago, which was the last era, the ancient era. In that era, all the people in the secular world disappeared without a trace and did not enter the world of rules. The forces in the world of rules also did not know where they went. Everyone believed that they had been destroyed. I didn't expect that I would go to the starry battlefield and shed my blood for the Milky Way to maintain the peace of the Milky Way. Everyone stood in awe. Those seniors deserved respect. Xiaoyi was considering whether to return the origin of space to her. The space ancestor queen curled her lips and said with a wicked smile, "If there is no human emperor leading the blue planet in this era, in a few thousand years, all of you in the secular world will be forcibly captured and used as cannon fodder. Of course, there will be some fertilized bodies left to continue the era, and the beast girl era is almost over. The faces of everyone who had just stood in awe of Xiaoyi turned black. It turns out that those seniors who deserve respect were not captured voluntarily but were forcibly captured. And the culprit behind all this is a powerful being like this one. Xiaoyi felt a surge of fear in his heart, and a few black lines appeared on his forehead. No return. The origin of that space will never be returned. Xiaoyi said, Senior, we don't have the original body you mentioned. And we don't know what your original body is. Do you think that our level of cultivation can be hidden from your perception? Zirin also spoke up quickly. Yes, Senior, you may have found the wrong person. The Queen of Space ancestor sneered. And a monstrous murderous aura emanated from her body, which contrasted with the piles of bones and the wailing of endless wronged souls. She reached out to grab Xiaoyi. It's no use talking to you. If you don't give it to me, I'll come and get it myself. In her eyes, these people did not pose any threat, so she said a few more words. But in the end, these people still don't repent, so we have to use force. When the giant evil hand was about to cover Xiaoyi and the others, the palace of time and space emerged from the void and took Xiaoyi and the others into the inner world. The murderous hand of the Queen of Space ancestor slammed on the palace of time and space, but did not cause any ripples. The first queen. She was a little surprised and frowned. She could only see this ordinary-looking palace with her naked eyes. When she scanned it with her spiritual sense, she could not see anything. As if this thing did not exist at all. The first queen's expression became solemn. She can see it now because the palace wants her to see it. Otherwise, she would stand in front of the palace and might never discover its existence in her entire life. The Queen of Space retreated 200 million meters. Her beautiful eyes narrowed. The most precious treasure above the Emperor realm. The great races of the universe have invaded Blue Planet to seize the source of rules that we have worked so hard to collect and connect. Her hair stood on end. All the hair on his body stood up. She and those innate gods were out fighting to keep the galaxy safe. But her home was robbed. A flash of white light appeared, and a small and exquisite time and space palace appeared in front of her. It hit her proud chest and bounced back more than 10 meters. Xiaoyi's voice was heard. Hey! What is this thing that is so elastic? Another pleasant female voice was heard. My lord, you are hitting someone on the peak. Ah! Xiaoyi's old face turned red. Well, senior, I didn't mean it. And I didn't do it on purpose. Absolutely not. We really don't know what your true form is. Look for it somewhere else. The Queen of Space ancestors felt a tingling sensation on her body, and her pretty face was filled with shame and anger. This cosmic clan of unknown origin not only stole her body, but also teased her. If the humans and ferocious beasts on the starry sky battlefield saw this, they would definitely give you a thumbs up in admiration and say, brother, you even dare to tease the first queen. You are so awesome. Chapter 537, The innate gods gathered together, and the house was stolen? It was the first time that the Queen of Space felt this tingling sensation. She thought it was very strange, so she started to rub it. The result was no feeling at all. There were cosmic tribes watching in front of her, so she put her hands down in embarrassment. The pretty face turned cold again, and the blush on the skin disappeared in an instant. She put away her contempt and placed Xiaoyi and others on an equal footing. Space rupture, space isolation, space seal. Her aura suddenly surged, and she launched a series of powerful attacks. In an instant, the endless dark space became fragmented, but the palace seemed not to be affected at all. It even moved a few steps closer to her, almost touching her face. The first queen, her face darkened, as if her attacks, which could easily destroy a planet with one blow, were just a tickle to the palace. The person is standing in front of you, and no matter what you do, you can't do anything to him. This was the first time she felt powerless. She failed to break through the defense, so she simply gave up and flew away, planning to find the other innate gods who had returned from Blue Star to discuss the matter of their origin being stolen, and the giant clans in the universe stealing their homes. The innate gods of Blue Star are also divided into camps. In her camp, there are some who have a good relationship with her. In human terms, they are good girlfriends. In the Hall of Time and Space, all the beast girls stopped practicing and looked up at the sky. The outside world is projected onto the sky like a projection. Who is this? So fierce. I don't know. Her realm is higher than Xiaoan's. She rubbed her own vagina in front of others. Doesn't she feel ashamed? Xiaoyi, what did you steal from her? The 9 beast girls were talking among themselves, while the white-haired girl looked around curiously with her eyes wide open. These are all fragments of rules. So many, too many. Crystal cores. All crystal cores. Millions of them, piled up into a small hill. And the scenery is so amazing. Is this the training environment that Xiaoyi's beast girls have? It's like a paradise on earth. So beautiful. How great it would be if she could practice here in the future. The white-haired girl increasingly felt that she needed to become Xiaoyi's beast girl. If Xiaoyi can kneel down and lick her master's skirt, why can't he kneel down and lick her skirt? What's wrong with her white hair? She is pretty, has a good figure, then has white hair and twin ponytails. The most important thing is that she is still a cherry blossom fan who has not been contaminated in any way. Facing the beast girl's questions, Xiaoyi scratched his head. His old face flushed as he said, I took advantage of her absence today to steal some of her space rule origins, and she followed the smell to find me. Ziran's eyes widened. You stole someone else's things, and you couldn't beat her. So why don't you give it back? The other beast girls also looked at him in confusion. Xiaoyi curled his lips. I stole it with my own ability. Why should I give it back? The origin of the spatial rules of Blue Star is where the heaven and earth were born. She just occupied it before us. Once I get it, it's mine. Cheng Bingshi agreed. Yes. Good things should be kept by capable people. We can't give it back. The white-haired girl also nodded and said, Brother Xiaoyi, that's not called robbing. That's called taking. How can it be called robbing for cultivators? The girls looked at Biyama speechless lie. And then they realized how Biyama got in here. Gu Qingcheng recalled what the future empress said, looked at Biyama with some pity, and said, I know the emperor-level expert wearing the phoenix crown. She is a congenital spirit born after the origin of space gave birth to consciousness. She was born in the emperor realm. There are many people like her on Blue Star. Our blue planet expands tenfold every 100 years, all thanks to the contributions of these gods. Every 100 years, they would come back from the starry sky and integrate the origin of the rules they had seized in battle into themselves or into the Blue Star. Do you know why there has never been any change in the structure and pattern of the rule world over the years? The beast girls shook their heads. Gu Qingcheng continued, because behind the world of rules are those innate gods of the emperor realm. They don't come out into the world, and are unknown to humans, but they control the world of rules in secret. Every hidden superpower has an innate god behind it controlling it, so it can remain immortal for hundreds of thousands of years, and be passed down for hundreds of thousands of years. Ziran's face changed, and he said, My parents sent me a message earlier that the Yaoing family, a hidden imperial clan, seems to be planning to attack my Z family. First he broke off the engagement, then he occupied the Z family's monster garden, and now he's planning to forcefully attack the Z family. He has no intention of backing down at all. Could this be the will of the innate gods behind the Yaoing imperial plan? Gu Qingcheng frowned. She didn't know either, so she asked in her spiritual sea, Old Gu, is the spirit behind the Yaoing imperial clan going to take action against the Z clan? Future Gu Qingcheng said, this is inevitable. The destiny-related innate gods behind the Z family fell tens of thousands of years ago. The gods of the Yaoing Emperor clan have long been spying on the rules of fate. Using the people in the world of rules to take action is to test the intentions of other gods. If other gods do not stop them, the gods behind the Yaoing Emperor clan will take action to plunder the origin of the rules of destiny. Gu Qingcheng told everyone what Old Gu said. Everyone was shocked. Is the innate divine spirit in the imperial realm about to take action? The Z family is not only fighting against the Yaoing imperial clan, but also the innate imperial gods behind it. Ziran's pretty face turned pale and she said, No, I want to go back and save my parents. Xiaoyi, if there is an afterlife, I will still be your beast mother. Bye. As soon as she finished speaking, she left through the golden light gate. Xiaoyi, he used the authority of the Palace of Time and Space to forcibly bounce Ziran back. Ziran looked bewildered. Xiaoyi frowned, raised his hand and slapped her on the perky butt with a slap, and said unhappily, Sister Z, you're on. Why are you leaving? Your business is my business. I will help the Z family. Just stay by my side. Ziran pouted. I just don't want you to be in danger. Gu Qingcheng also held her back and said, We are good sisters on the same front. We will not watch you die. Xiaoyi touched his chin and pondered, the Emperor Roman 8 God will take action. This is troublesome. The other side, in the dark space behind the world of rules, that is, the endless void, there is a spirit pool where the heaven and earth were born in an unknown place. There are 2 snow-white, explosive bodies bathing in it. In a flash, the Queen of Space ancestor arrived. She immediately took off her phoenix skirt and fell into the spirit pool with a plop. Sister, you are finally here. How is it? Have you found your true self? The owners of the 2 snow-white bodies spoke. The space ancestor queen had a sad face. I found it. And I didn't find it. The 2 gods were shocked. Big sister, You are the strongest on Blue Star. The eldest sister among the innate gods. A perfect galaxy-level being. One step away from entering the starfield level. Who on Blue Star can take away your body? The space ancestor queen rubbed the front and felt nothing, so she gave up and said solemnly, that guy might be from the Cosmic Clan. Our house has been robbed. Chapter 538, Time Empress, he is the trend of this universe. The two innate gods were not in the mood to soak in the spiritual spring. These words startled them so much that they stood up, revealing their proud and hairless graceful bodies. One of the gods, who was surrounded by the origin of the law of destruction, said, the cosmic race has invaded the blue planet. All of us gods must unite and eliminate that cosmic race first. We don't have to go to the battlefields in the Milky Way. In the next 100 years, we will wipe out the foreign races on Blue Star. Another innate god surrounded by the origin of the rules of reincarnation responded, that's right. Blue Star is our foundation, the basis of our way of life, and we cannot allow outsiders to interfere. Big sister, you must quickly notify all the innate gods and hold a meeting to purge the foreign races. The space ancestor queen nodded. It is indeed necessary. But even I can't do anything to them. So it's useless for you to do anything. This cosmic clan is not simple. She waved her hand, and a screen appeared above her, showing endless void. The innate deity of destruction asked in confusion, what is this? There is nothing here? The space ancestor queen had a bitter look on her face. They are in this direction, entering a palace. The palace is too high level. If it doesn't show up, even if I know where it is, I won't be able to observe its situation. When the two innate gods heard this, they were shocked for a moment. You know, the Queen of Space is the original will of the rules of Blue Star. She can see what happens in any space or dark space on Blue Star. She can also appear anywhere on Blue Star in an instant, and can even attack any place from a distance. Big sister, are you saying that after you arrived at this place, you couldn't see the cosmic clan and couldn't take action against him? The god of destruction said in surprise. The Queen of Space ancestor nodded and said helplessly, yes. The two gods felt very tricky. It's right there, or in front of you, but you can't see it. You can't touch it. You can't attack it effectively. This is a cosmic clan above the galaxy level. The innate gods of reincarnation gasped. The face of an extremely handsome young man flashed through the mind of the space ancestor queen. She shook her head and said, he may not be at a level above the galaxy level, but the treasure he possesses is above the galaxy level. Of course, there may be a galaxy-level existence behind him. The gods of reincarnation and destruction nodded. The Queen of Space waved her hand, and the scene she saw appeared on the screen above. It was the scene when she met Xiaoyi and others, as well as the scene of confrontation with the Palace of Time and Space. Among these foreign tribes, this male foreigner is the leader. It seems that the Supreme Palace is also temporarily under the control of this male foreigner. During my encounter with them, it was the male foreigners who did all the talking and taking the lead. The reincarnation spirit frowned and said in disbelief, I think these people are not foreigners, but humans. I have controlled the reincarnation of Blue Planet for hundreds of thousands of years. No one on Blue Planet understands humans better than I do. Her beautiful eyes sparkled. Information about the reincarnations, birthplaces, family relationships, and other aspects of Ziran. Yun Bing, the white-haired girl, EZR, and Liu Yao instantly appeared in her mind. These young women are all pure humans from my Blue Star. As for this young man, I can't see any information about his reincarnation. I only see a thick layer of golden mist. This boy looks like a human on the surface, but he may be a fake from a cosmic clan. The destructive spirit said angrily, then arrest all the families of these women and use them to threaten this foreign ride. I think the foreign ride seems to care about those women very much. Perhaps we can use the families of these women to threaten this foreign race. I, the origin of destruction, have not appeared in front of the world for such a long time. Perhaps it is time for me to show my face. The Queen of Space ancestors raised her lips. All right, send all these people to the starry sky battlefield to be cannon fodder. At this moment, suddenly in this endless void, a vague and vast voice resounded. No, you can't move. Upon hearing this, the three gods who were bathing in the spiritual spring all showed surprise on their beautiful faces. The three of them stood up at the same time, revealing their snow-white bodies without a single hair. From a distance, it looked like mountains rising one after another. The first queen shouted hoarsely, God of Time, is that you? Aren't you resting in peace? Why did it appear again? The other two gods looked delighted. The ethereal and vast voice sounded again, with a somewhat speechless and dissatisfied tone. You are the one who died. I am the God of Time. As long as time does not perish, I will exist. The first queen asked excitedly, Sister, where have you been? Why haven't you shown up in 500,000 years? After you brought me up, you disappeared without a trace. Do you know how hard I've been looking for you? We have searched more than 10 star systems surrounding the Milky Way, but we can't find any trace of you. The god of destruction and the god of reincarnation fell silent. The Queen of Time was the first innate deity to be born with will. After she formed the big sister of space, she just left it alone and disappeared for hundreds of thousands of years. All the gods thought she was dead. However, the big sister of the origin of space has always believed that the god of time is not dead, and is keen on invading other galaxies in order to find the god of time. The god of time did not speak for a long time, and then spoke after a while. God of space, you are becoming more and more like a human, with the complex emotions of humans. Space girl, you have worked hard during this period. When the space ancestor queen heard this, her eyes turned red and she choked up as she said, It's not hard. I'm glad you're not dead. The reincarnation spirit wondered, Time spirit, where have you been? Why haven't you shown up for so long? The ethereal voice was mixed with a hint of helplessness, saying, I will go find a way to advance to the Emperor realm. I have worked so hard for so long, and although I have gained something, it is not proportional to my efforts. The space ancestor queen was surprised and asked, Sister, have you been promoted to the Emperor realm? Can you tell us what you went through? The gods of destruction and reincarnation are also very curious. The vast voice hesitated. Our path of advancement through the origin of rule is too difficult. It is better for you to stay in the Blue Star Galaxy. Space Spirit, if you want to advance to the realm of the Emperor, perhaps I can show you a way. This road is related to that young man. The first queen was puzzled. Young man? The ethereal voice responded. Yes, it's the boy you met not long ago. I can tell you clearly that he is not a foreigner, but a pure Blue Star person. Follow him. You can smoothly advance to the level above the Emperor realm, the Star realm level, or even the universe level. The first queen was even more confused. Why? The Time Queen responded. Because he is the trend of this universe. The human emperor who led our blue star to rise. Chapter 539, Time Queen, become his wife. The Queen of Space ancestor destroyed the gods and the reincarnation gods were shocked. That young man turned out to be the human emperor who led the rise of Blue Star and the trend of the universe. It is not the general trend of this galaxy, nor is it the starry sky or this star field, but the general trend of this universe. After the three gods were shocked, doubts arose in their hearts. Even though the god of time controls the time on Blue Planet, can see the past and the future, and can go back to the past and go to the future, his methods are mysterious and unpredictable. But she said with such confidence that a young boy was the trend of the universe, which was too unbelievable for the gods. The Queen of Space ancestor asked, Sister, are you sure? Don't say such things casually. At that time, the spirit said calmly, Forget it if you don't believe it. Goodbye. The space ancestor queen was anxious. She finally saw her sister and she wanted to spend some time with her. No, she wanted to stay with her sister forever. She said hurriedly, Wait, sister, I believe it. Can you please show up? I can't find you. Let's talk about how to deal with that boy. He stole my space origin. Swish. A mysterious light flashed, and a stunning face appeared in front of the three gods. She was wearing a slim-fitting purple gold robe, exuding the aura of the origin of time, and her figure was very prominent and straight. The goddess of time said with some disdain, Why don't you wear any clothes? You have been a god for so long that you don't even care about the body you worked so hard to build. What if those gods with male bodies see you? Plop! The space ancestor queen rushed over, hugged the time empress spirit excitedly, rubbed her head hard on her pride, and said with a choked voice, Sister, I finally see you. It's been 500,000 years since we last met. You trained me and then just left me there. You are so abominable. The time empress was a little embarrassed. She raised her jade hand and pushed the space ancestor queen away. She rubbed the front of her face awkwardly and said, At the beginning, I was born only a few 100,000 years ago, and my emotions were very indifferent. I was only thinking about pursuing the supreme. You can see me anytime you want in the future. The space ancestor queen was very excited, and her pretty face was full of joy. That's great. Do you plan to stay on Blue Star forever? The time queen spirit hesitated and said, Yes and no. Anyway, we will meet often in the future. By the way, it's too difficult to follow the path of world will. If you want to advance to the Emperor realm, it's best to establish a good relationship with that young man and become his right-hand man. Then your future path will be very smooth. Who of you wants to go? She asked. The three gods, the Queen of Space ancestors, hesitated and were a little hesitant. The Time Queen spirit said with a smile, if you don't go, then I will go. I will take down that young man first, and then I will pass on some of my experience to you later. Upon hearing this, the Space Ancestor Queen immediately said, Go, I'll go too. Sister, wherever you go I'll go. I want to be with you forever. It's just about becoming that boy's right-hand man. I can do it. The other two gods looked at each other, hesitating whether to go as well. Before the return of the Time Empress, the Space Queen was the most powerful of all the gods on the blue planet. But after she returns, the big sister will be replaced. It seems that this Time Empress deity has broken through the Emperor realm and reached a level above the Emperor realm. A gleam of brightness flashed across the beautiful eyes of the Time Queen, and she said, Okay, Space Spirit, then go and capture that young man first. When you have experience, talk to us and I will take over. The Queen of Space Ancestor. A big question mark popped up in her head. You want to use me as a guinea pig? She said in disbelief. The Time Queen spirit looked away and said awkwardly, Just tell me whether you are going or not. She used her great magical power to peek into the boy's future, but her future self slapped her and shattered her magical power. She became a little afraid of the future boy, so she decided to send the space spirit to test the boy first, which was equivalent to testing whether he would allow the Rule Origin spirit to join in the future. Go, I'll go. The Space Ancestor Queen said anxiously. How can we capture him? How do we capture him? Should I kill him? Imprison him? Or make him recognize me as my master? The Time Queen's eyes widened, and she glared at the First Queen angrily. That's not what I meant by taking him down. I want you to make friends with him, to simply become his protector, or even better, to become his person. Yeah, that's what humans mean by wife. The three gods were stunned. Old wife? Let us serve him, kneel down under him and do dirty things? Mr. Time, we are gods. As the original gods of Blue Star, they all have their own pride. It would be too difficult for them to submit to the legs of a human. Is it difficult? The Time Goddess frowned. The Space Ancestor Queen nodded. Of course it's difficult. I'll try to become his protector. I can't accept being a human's wife. The other two gods also echoed, That's right. Human thoughts are very complicated and very dirty. We can't lower our status. God of Time, you don't want to become that young man's wife and kneel down under him to be tortured, do you? Hearing this, the Time Queen's pretty face turned red, and her eyes were a little evasive. How is it possible? I am the goddess of time. How can I do what you can't do? The two gods breathed a sigh of relief. But there was a gleam of brilliance in the beautiful eyes of the Queen of Space. She saw that the goddess of time wanted to become the young man's wife. The general trend of the universe. The general trend of the universe. She muttered a few words. Suddenly I felt that being the young man's wife wouldn't be a humble thing. Sister, I'll go now. The Queen of Space ancestor seemed to have made up her mind. The Time Queen spirit shook her head and said, No hurry. If you go to that endless void now, they won't trust you. But in the next few days, a big event will happen to the Z family in the Rule Realm. You can wait and see. Don't show your presence yet. When they are in crisis, show up and help them to show your loyalty. After they trust you, you can then find a way to build a good relationship with the boy. The closer the better. The closer he can get away from you, the better. When the time is right, you can teach me your experience, and I will show up again and take him down with my own insights. The Space Ancestor Queen said happily, After we capture him, can you stay by my side forever? Can we never separate? The Time Queen spirit nodded. Of course. After becoming the young man's wife, protector, I will never leave him, grow with him, and achieve the highest success. Speaking of this, the beautiful eyes of the Time Queen goddess blossomed with a light of longing and yearning. The Space Ancestor Queen said, Then I will go. She disappeared in a flash. The Time Queen spirit looked at the Destruction Origin spirit and the Reincarnation Origin spirit with some caution and asked, What about you? What are your plans? Chapter 540, Z Family Crisis. What are your plans? The Time Queen raised her extremely beautiful face and asked with some caution. The Destruction Spirit and the Reincarnation Spirit looked at each other and said, I'll take a look at the situation first and wait for the right opportunity to act. Me too. The eldest sister is going to go ahead and take a look at the situation first. The Time Queen goddess breathed a sigh of relief. You'd better not express your attitude to the boy too early. Let the space god have a result before going. Otherwise, if we go too many at once, he will suspect that our purpose and intention are not pure. He is the general trend of the universe. If we can eye onto this wind, we can ride on it. The god of destruction smiled and said, I will definitely go, it's just a matter of time. The big sister has gone, and I, the little sister, have to follow. The reincarnation spirit echoed, me too, me too. Even the big sister has lowered her posture. I have nothing to be proud of, so I can also lower my posture temporarily. The Time Queen spirit curled her lips and said, he is the human emperor. You have not lowered your status, but have become his nemesis. There's no point in saying more. See you again if we're lucky. You'd better put on some clothes and don't let those male gods see you. Otherwise, with that boy's cleanliness, you won't be able to become his wife. Oh, protector. As soon as she finished speaking, her beautiful body disappeared into the endless void. The two gods were somewhat surprised. It's just a shell. What does the universe care so much about it? Yes, it's weird. The protector is not my wife. Why does the boy care so much about our appearance? Big sister and the Time Queen also want to be the young man's protector, right? They don't want to be his wife, right? Of course, the protector only guards the emperor's growth. As for the wife, she not only has to protect him, but also meet his various needs, kneeling down and licking his ass. How can such an arrogant god like the big sister do that? Yes, the Time Queen is the most mysterious deity. No one can get involved in her, and no one can become the wife of the human emperor. As they spoke, ancient robes covered with mysterious runes appeared on the surface of their graceful bodies. If someone knows what's going on, they can tell at a glance that their clothes are condensed from the origin of rules. The other side. In the endless void on the dark side of Hanghouse City, the palace of time and space slowly rotates, exuding an eternal and unchanging ancient atmosphere. Inside, a group of beast girls looked at the situation outside, feeling somewhat uneasy. Has that innate spirit left? Will it keep watching us? We must go to the Rule Realm Z family for support now. If we are targeted by the innate gods as soon as we show our heads, what good will it do for us? Xiaoyi said, it's okay. The Time and Space Palace can protect the master at any time. Our safety is not a problem. If we show up at the Z family in the Rule Realm, will it implicate the Z family and put them, who are already being targeted by the Yaoing Imperial clan, into crisis? According to Sister King Cheng, the destiny-related innate spirit behind the Z family died 20,000 years ago. It's difficult for us to go or not go. Gu King Cheng asked in his spiritual sea, Old Gu, will the innate spirit attack us? Future Gu King Cheng raised her eyelids and said with certainty, no. Not only will she not attack us, she will also help us fight against the 5 element spirits behind the Yaoing Imperial clan, so you can go and help the Z family without worrying about it. But in the Z family, you must pay attention to Disciple Ziran. It's best not to let her die. The future cannot be changed, but it is possible to change the fate of one disciple, Ziran. Gu King Cheng glanced at Biamo and said to everyone, don't worry, my destiny-related talent skill can peek into the trajectory of my own destiny, so the innate gods will not attack us. Xiaoyi, you also have a time-related prediction now and skill. Do you feel the crisis? Xiaoyi shook his head. No. Ziran's beautiful eyes lit up, and her whole delicate face lit up, and she said excitedly, great. We can go help my family. With Xiao and Anan, who is at the peak of the quasi-emperor realm, and King Sheng, who is temporarily at the perfect first stage of the emperor realm, they should be able to help my family a little. Xiaoqi nodded immediately and waved his hand, saying, little maid, go out and take the Spacetime Palace to the Z family in the Rule Realm. Let's go. Bingxi, Xiao, King Zhu, Liu Yaziar, you don't have to worry about anything. Just practice with peace of mind and work hard to become stronger. Sister King Cheng, it's been so long, have you recovered? Gu King Cheng nodded. Okay. I can always use the power of the future to improve my realm. Xiaoyi, very good. Sister Yun Bing, Sister Yunxi, Sister Ziyaran, you should maintain your energy and keep yourself in peak condition at all times, so that you can take action at any time. The women said it was no problem. Zhang Zuonan came to the endless void through the golden light gate, transformed into a giant starry beast mount, and quickly crossed to the world of rules carrying the palace of time and space. In milliseconds, he reached the boundary membrane between the secular world and the world of rules, passed through it, and entered the vast southern region of the world of rules. In the realm of rules, it is the territory of the Purple family. At this time, the Z family had suffered the invasion of the Yaoing Imperial clan. A great battle in the Holy Realm broke out, and strong men in the quasi-emperor realm were ready to join the battlefield at any time. The Zeta, O couple, with gloomy faces, held a meeting with 10 elders of the Z family in the meeting hall. The 10 elders spoke out angrily. The Yaoing imperial family is too arrogant. So what if they are an imperial family? Our Z family is not weak either. In terms of midrange and high-end combat power, my Z family is not much different from him. If we fight, no one will win. The Yaoing Emperor clan leader is too arrogant. Has he become stupid after being a hegemon for so long? I think he was kicked in the head by a donkey. How ridiculous. First he broke off the engagement. Then he tried to seize our blessed land. And now there is a direct conflict. Does he think our Z family is easy to bully? Zidao patted the purple crystal chair. What if the Yaoing imperial clan wants to start a clan war? The 10 elders were furious and said, then let's fight him. Yes, our Xianli has never been inferior to others. And neither is the Yaoing imperial family. He has repeatedly provoked our Z family. We, the Z family, will teach him a lesson. Zidao shook his head. The Yaoing imperial clan has a peak quasi-emperor realm ancestor in peak condition, and a peak quasi-emperor realm ancestor who is in deep sleep. The sleeping ancestor of our Z family is only in the late quasi-emperor realm. He cannot protect our Z family in a life and death battle. It doesn't matter if the midrange and high-end combat power are similar. It is the top combat power that determines life and death. If a full-scale war really breaks out, the foundation of our Z family that has lasted for hundreds of thousands of years will probably be destroyed in an instant. He is the patriarch of the clan. He must consider the overall situation and the continuation of the Z family. He cannot choose personal emotions to drive the Z family to go to war. Hearing this, the 10 elders of the Z family fell silent. What they didn't know was that on the empty chair next to Zeta sat the space ancestor queen with a seductive posture and lazy look, listening to their conversation with boredom. Chapter 541, Sneak into the Yaoing Imperial Clan and the counterattack begins. In her opinion, the war below the Imperial realm is like playing house in the starry sky battlefield. When powerful beings from 2 galaxies with billions of people are fighting, the Emperor realm is only considered a midrange force. The second stage of the Emperor realm is a high-end force, and the third stage of the Emperor realm is the enemy that she should pay attention to at her level. And this kind of enemy is often the galactic overlord of the hostile galaxy. The Queen of Space Ancestors was bored and changed her sitting posture. She changed the position of her slender white legs and crossed them, looking casual yet elegant. Hurry up, start fighting. If your Z family is about to be exterminated, then I can take action. Do you think that if you want to destroy our Z family, his Yaoing imperial family will also be seriously damaged? Zito looked around and found that although many elders were silent, the expressions on their faces showed that they agreed with this statement. He slapped the purple crystal chair and shouted, wrong, absolutely wrong. One peak quasi-emperor from the Yaoing imperial clan is enough to resist half of the power of our Z clan by himself. 2 peak quasi-emperors, plus the other quasi-emperors from the Yaoing imperial clan, can crush our Z clan. It's been a long time since our Z family had a major war. Don't forget that victory or defeat is always decided by top combat power. One elder felt very aggrieved and said angrily, then we should give up resistance. We will die anyway. Zidao's eyes were deep, and he gritted his teeth and said, of course not. From now on, recall all the descendants of the Z family below the Saint realm and all the direct descendants of the Z family regardless of their realm. Let them enter the Dragon Crystal small world, and collect more than 60 of the resources of the Z family. Once we die, immediately send someone wearing a Dragon Crystal ring to go to the secular world and hide their identities, secretly accumulate strength, and wait for the day when they can make a comeback and seek revenge on the Yaoing imperial clan. A faint smile appeared on the corner of the space ancestor queen's mouth, and she said secretly, this little guy looks a bit like the wife of Starry Skygrand, and should be the young man's father-in-law. If I had rescued this person when he died, I would have gained a lot of favor from the young man. It's good that the Z family is in a weak position, and it's good that this little guy should be killed. The Yaoing family quickly took action and killed the little guy. In the southern region of the Rule World, a black shadow flashed across the sky. The shadow was so fast that it disappeared in the blink of an eye. This is a giant star beast. It carries a small palace and heads towards the central area of the Rule World. At this time, Xiaoyi's voice came out. We will go directly to the Yaoing family's territory. When the time comes, little maid, you come to the Hall of Time and Space. I will use the Bronze Hall's capture function to capture all the direct and collateral descendants of the Yaoing family and all the potential descendants of the Yaoing family and send them to the Z family as gifts. We are hiding in the Hall of Time and Space. And even the Yaoing family's quasi-emperor peak patriarch cannot find us. The starry sky beast asked in confusion. Why don't you just capture the head of the Yaoing family and the top fighters? Xiao Yi said helplessly. What if we capture these top fighters and disturb the gods behind the Yaoing imperial clan? The Bronze Palace can only capture creatures or small worlds of objects below the third stage of the Emperor realm, galaxy level. If the realm of the gods is galaxy level, and they attack the Z family in anger, we will lose more than we gain. Capturing the descendants of the Yaoing imperial clan is different. It does not affect the combat power of the Yaoing imperial clan. The starry sky behemoth nodded and moved forward at full speed towards the Yaoing imperial clan in the central area of the Rule realm. An hour later, the patriarch of the Yaoing imperial clan was shocked. He felt an extremely powerful force that made him feel palpitating coming towards the Yaoing imperial clan. Is it the peak quasi-emperor realm who destroyed the Wu family? What is he doing in my Yaoing imperial clan? Now is the time when the Yaoing imperial clan and the Z clan are at war. We cannot offend an existence that is equal to me at will. This time, the Z family must be destroyed. This is a great opportunity for me, the Yaoing imperial clan, to become a god realm god on the imperial clan list. Notify everyone that the Yaoing imperial clan will launch an all-out attack on the Z clan, leaving no one behind. He waved his hands, and the palpitating feeling suddenly disappeared, leaving him feeling somewhat puzzled. This is, leaving? A look of joy appeared on Yaoing Xiangbie's face. It's good to leave. What he didn't know was that at the edge of the Yaoing Emperor's territory, the giant star beast entered a golden light gate and entered the Palace of Time and Space. The Palace of Time and Space shrank into a delicate and small palace that could be held in the palm of your hand, hidden in the void. Under Xiao Yi's control, it entered the territory of the Yaoing Emperor clan, Yaoing Imperial Family. On the entrance plaque, there are 4 large and very impressive characters written on it. The Hall of Time and Space quietly floated past the gatekeepers of the Yaoing Imperial clan without attracting any attention. Xiao Yi directly released the Bronze Palace to capture it. The gatekeepers disappeared in an instant. Yaoing Imperial clan. So awesome? I even arrested your gatekeeper. Still 2 saints have reached the perfect state. The Palace of Time and Space floated into the attic of the city defense hall, and Xiao Yi and a group of beast girls heard some unbearable sounds. Master's wife. Master won't be angry if I do this with you, right? Oh, you little rascal. You've eaten me clean so many times, and you still say that? Lie down right now. Okay. You are the most beautiful in the world. Serve me well. Your master is rubbish. 3 seconds. Xiao Yi. Receive. The 2 men were directly imprisoned in a secret area of the Bronze Palace. Bima looked at his master, then at Xiao Yi, her beautiful eyes gleaming with light, and no one knew what she was thinking. The Palace of Time and Space floated into the bottom floor of the attic again, and saw a thin middle-aged man who was practicing meditation. Xiao Yi looked at him with some pity, then directly used the Bronze Palace to capture him and imprison him next to the 2 people he had just captured. The thin middle-aged man was startled by the change in environment. After seeing the situation around him clearly, he became furious. He actually saw his most proud disciple having an affair with his wife, having close contact with her. Xiao Yi ignored them, put away the Bronze Palace, and controlled the Palace of Time and Space to float deep into the Yaoing Imperial clan. This is a huge city with a large population. Xiao Yi ignored these ordinary people of the Yaoing Imperial family and floated towards the mansion of the luxurious nobles. These are all the collateral descendants of the Yaoing Emperor's family. They caught anyone they saw, regardless of their level, and put them next to the adulterous master's wife and her disciple. After seeing the situation around them, these descendants of the Yaoing Emperor's side branches were all stunned. Why are there 2 naked Yaoing family members doing indecent things? Upon closer inspection, they turned out to be the wife and apprentice of the elder guarding the city. Next to them, the city guard elder was staring and roaring angrily. Seeing so many people witness my family's ugly deeds, the city guard elder, who was in the early stage of quasi-emperor realm, was so embarrassed and angry. Look at what you have done. I will divorce you when I get back. And you beast. When I release you from your restraints, I will kill you first. The disciple guarding the city shrank his neck and said, Master, it was Master's wife who forced me to do this. Look, Master's wife is bullying me now, and I can't resist at all. The descendants of the Yaoing family from the side branches looked at it and nodded. The city guard elder said angrily, Wow, it turns out that you, a bitch, are cheating on me and seducing my disciple. The charming mistress complained, It's because you are not good enough that I look for someone else. It takes only 3 seconds each time. The city guard elder was so embarrassed when he heard this. More and more descendants of the Yaoing family's side branches appeared around, and their eyes widened when they saw it. It was so exciting. Chapter 542, Destroy All Captives. Suddenly at this moment, another elder from the Yaoing family's side branch, who was in the early Quasi-Emperor realm, was captured. He found himself imprisoned, completely unable to move, and unable to exert any of his strength. When I turned around, I saw a shocking scene. What's going on? Why is everyone here? The city guard elder cursed angrily. I guess someone used a treasure to capture him and imprison him, and it made me discover my own ugly deeds. The elder from the side branch twitched his lips and said, "It's time to clean up your family." The city guard elder lost face and said angrily, "I will kill these two bitches when I return. The clan leader will save us. How dare someone invade our Yaoing Emperor clan's territory and attack us? How courageous." The imprisoned collateral descendants were relatively calm and believed that nothing would happen. They are the Yaoing Imperial clan, the most powerful overlord on Blue Star. No matter who attacks them, they will be met with the most ferocious and violent revenge from the Yaoing Imperial family, and killing all 9 generations of the clan would be the least of their worries. The elder of the early Quasi-Emperor realm of the side branch said, "Everyone just wait. We will definitely return safely. That thief has captured more than 2,000 of our collateral relatives, as well as 2 Quasi-Emperor elders. The clan leader will definitely take this seriously and find a way to save us. With the tribe leader taking action, no one on the Blue Star can harm us." The city guard elder nodded. "Yes, he only dared to put us under house arrest, and did not dare to kill us. This is the power of our Yaoing Imperial clan." Xiaoyi controlled the Hall of Time and Space and floated into the inner circle of the Yaoing Imperial clan. He did not pay attention to the situation in the Bronze Hall, and did not hear their conversation. Otherwise he would definitely do something to destroy these people's blind confidence. The inner circle of the Yaoing Imperial clan is the most important place for the Yaoing Imperial clan. Here live the elite descendants of the Yaoing Imperial family, the direct descendants of the Yaoing Imperial family, and the middle-level forces of the Yaoing family. Elite Hall. When Xiaoyi entered the Palace of Time and Space, he saw many direct descendants of the Yaoing family. All of these people have great potential or are at a high level. Among the 10, there are 2 or 3 powerful saints. These people were sitting cross-legged on the ground, listening to a lecture by a white-haired elder sitting on a high seat. Saint Realm, cultivate the power of rules. Absorb the power of rules and integrate it into one's body. If you want to go far, you can trust in the Saint Realm cultivation. You have to lay a solid foundation step by step. Only when you break through to the Quasi-Emperor realm in the future can you achieve success naturally and advance directly like a broken bamboo. There are dozens of Quasi-Emperors in my clan. Those who have advanced deeply into the Quasi-Emperor realm have all been tempered in the Saint realm for a long time and have laid a solid foundation. Xiaoyi sighed. The Yaoing Imperial clan was worthy of being the overlord of Blue Star. When it comes to cultivation, each instructor has his own expertise and unique experience, and they are all Quasi-Emperor level old monsters. But these did not prevent him from making arrests. A wave appeared in the space, and a bronze palace appeared above these people, directly releasing thousands of red chains that linked to all the people who were meditating. Who is it? The old man at the Quasi-Emperor level instantly made a move and slapped towards the bronze palace. There was a sound of ground. The bronze palace made a sound, but was not damaged at all. Those direct descendants and elite children looked confused. What was this? The red chains attached to their bodies made them feel very uncomfortable. The old man in the Quasi-Emperor realm waved his hand to send a message, his expression solemn. "Sir, could you please show yourself?" Xiaoyi ignored him, and the bronze palace retracted the red chains. Thousands of direct descendants and elite students who were meditating disappeared. In an instant, more than a dozen Quasi-Emperor elders arrived, and the old man said, "Capture it. All the more than 6,000 elites in my elite hall have been captured." Good. The elders at the Quasi-Emperor realm took action one after another, bursting out with powerful might, and attacked the bronze palace. The bronze palace was directly recalled by Xiaoyi and disappeared, and their attack was in vain. Xiaoyi controlled the spacetime palace and left in style. In a secret realm of the bronze palace, the collateral members were shocked to see more than 5,000 descendants of the Wu family wearing elite ancient robes appearing nearby. Why were you also arrested? Aren't there dozens of Quasi-Emperor realm experts in the inner circle of the Imperial City? Where's the clan leader? Didn't he take action? The descendants of the elite ancient robe martial arts family were also shocked when they saw the surrounding situation. Why are there so many people? There must be more than 10,000 people in total. There are also 2 Quasi-Emperor elders. What are those 2 people in the middle doing? Isn't it shameful to be naked? The city guard elder said angrily, "That villain is definitely from the Z family. Our clan leader will rescue us and destroy the Z family." The elder of the collateral branch nodded and said, "Don't panic. We will just rest here for a while." Xiaoyi took a look at the situation in the bronze hall, and found that there were already tens of thousands of people, including more than 1,000 people in the Holy Realm. These people are definitely the potential stocks and half of the mid-level forces of the Yaoing Imperial clan. Zichao will definitely be very happy if we send these people to the Z family as captives. These people look so confident. Xiaoyi decided to destroy the confidence of these people. He used the authority of the Bronze Palace and mobilized the power of heaven and earth to directly destroy nearly 10,000 members of the Yaoing family. The foundation and the realm are destroyed. In an instant, the faces of the city guarding elders and the elders from the side branches changed drastically, and all the members of the Yaoing family wailed. They all became broken and useless people who were unable to practice and had no cultivation. Xiaoyi took a look and withdrew his gaze with satisfaction. The Yaoing Imperial family was nothing. Inside the Palace of Time and Space, at this time, Yunxi and Yunbing begged, "Xiaoyi, our parents have been captured by the Yaoing Imperial clan for more than 1,000 years, and we don't know if they are still alive. Can you find it?" Xiaoyi raised his hand and patted the two girls, smiling and said, "Since you are all here, of course we have to look for our parents. They are not only your parents, but also my father-in-law and mother-in-law." Sister King Cheng, "Did your parents tell me where they were imprisoned?" Gu Qingcheng shook her head. "No. They only said that they were in a laboratory with no freedom and had never left the laboratory. They lived in agony for 10 years and they didn't know when they would die. I heard from them that many people couldn't stand the experiments and committed suicide." Upon hearing this, Yunbing and Yunxi, to space-related beauties, were shocked. Endless worries surged in their hearts and their mental outlook became bad. Yunbing said angrily, "The Yaoing Imperial family deserves death for capturing innocent people for such an inhumane experiment. I really want to punch Patriarch Yaoing to pieces." Yunxi's face was full of coldness, and he said, "The Yaoing Emperor's family should be destroyed. Alas, Dad and Mom, it's all my fault that I'm incompetent and couldn't rescue you right away. I don't even know if you're still alive." Xiaoyi felt distressed when he saw the two women becoming haggard due to worry. He walked forward, hugged the two girls, patted their shoulders, and comforted them. "I will do my best to rescue my father-in-law and mother-in-law safely. Relax." Zhang Zunan said at this time, "My two sisters, with Xian and here, you don't have to worry about the Yaoing Emperor clan leader or anything like that. The master will definitely rescue your parents." Gu Qingcheng also said, "Yes, I can also use the power of the future to temporarily improve my realm to the surface level of the Emperor realm. Although it only takes a few seconds, it can kill the peak of the Emperor realm in nanoseconds. It takes 2 days to recover after using my innate skills. 48 hours in the Palace of Time and Space means only half an hour has passed outside. After half an hour outside, I can use my innate skills to transform into an emperor again. In short, as long as the gods behind the Yaoing Imperial clan don't take action, we can do whatever we want to the Yaoing Imperial clan." Ziran said, "Although my eye is only at the 4th level of the Bible, I can still help." Hearing this, the expressions of Yunxi and Yunbing softened a lot. Chapter 543 Biko's Death. Chapter 543, My father-in-law and mother-in-law are still alive. The chapter has been corrected. Xiaoyi took out the treasure hunting pointer and asked, "Sister Yunbing, Sister Yunxi, what are the names of my father-in-law and mother-in-law? I'll see if I can find their location." Yunxi and Yunbing looked delighted. They had seen Xiaoyi's excellent ability to find things before. No matter how rare the magical beast was, or how remote and rare the treasure was, he could find it quickly. More sensitive than a dog's nose, and more awesome than a treasure-hunting beast. "Our daddy's name is Yun Hong, and our mom's name is Shui Bingxi. Yeah, our name is a combination of our daddy's and mom's names." The two girls recalled the days when they lived with their parents, and nostalgia appeared on their little faces. Xiaoyi nodded, "Okay." He issued instructions to the treasure-hunting pointer to find humans named Yun Hong and Shui Bingxi. The treasure pointer emitted a soft light and began to hum. After a few seconds, the light went out and the treasure-hunting pointer stopped shaking. "No such two persons." Xiaoyi's face turned ugly. The absence of such a person means that these two people have already gone? He just promised that he would find his father-in-law and mother-in-law, but the next second, they disappeared. Yunbing and Yunxi's heart skipped a beat, and they had an ominous premonition, so they hurriedly said, "Xiaoyi, how is it?" Xiaoyi's mouth was bitter, and he said softly, "Father-in-law and mother-in-law may have done that. Yunbing and Yunxi felt as if struck by a bolt from the blue. Their bodies were magnified by the lightning and they trembled violently, their faces turning pale. Sadness and anger appeared in their eyes, crystal tears slid down their cheeks, and their nails of clenched fists dug deeply into the flesh, and blood seeped out and dripped onto the ground. Our father and mother must have been tortured to death by the Yaoing imperial clan. Yes, the Yaoing imperial family deserves to die. Xiaoyi was silent, looking at the two women in pain. He felt as if his heart was being stabbed by needles and the pain was unbearable. He hugged the two women idly, trying to give them some warmth. Gu Qingqing frowned and said, Xiaoyi, is it that your way of finding people is wrong? Why don't you try a few more times and look for it in another way? If she remembered correctly, Lao Gu once said that Xiaoxi and Xiaobing's parents were still alive. Xiaoyi slapped his forehead. His eyes lit up and he said, yes, try a few more times. Sister Yunbing. Sister Yunxi. Why father-in-law and mother-in-law may have lost their memory and don't remember their own names. Their names in the experiment may just be code names. If they have been using code names for so many years, they have forgotten their original names. That's why I didn't find it just now. Try a few more times. Maybe they are still alive. Yunxi and Yunbing thought that his words were just comforting and they were still in grief and anger. Xiaoyi hooked his fingers, and the blood dripping from the two women's white and tender hands floated up. In his heart, he gave the treasure hunting pointer an order. Based on this drop of blood, find human relatives who share the same roots. The treasure hunting pointer's light dissipated, and it trembled all over, making a buzzing sound. Swish. 4 red chains pierced through the void and disappeared into the void. Xiaoyi looked delighted. The red chain meant that the person had been found. 2 of the red divine chains were linked to Yunbing and Yunxi's delicate bodies. There were also the chains that pierced through the Patriarch's Hall of the Yaoing Emperor clan, and were input into Yaoing Dingtian's platinum ring, connecting to a laboratory somewhere underground in the small world contained in the platinum ring. A 3D spatial coordinate map emerged in his mind. There is 1 blue dot, and 4 red dots. The blue dot refers to Xiaoyi, and the 4 red dots refer to the closest human relatives who share the same origin as that drop of blood. The blue dot and the 2 red dots overlap to a high degree. Xiaoyi understood that this was because he and Yunbing and Yunxi were standing very close. But the other 2 red dots must be the parents of the 2 girls. 8732. The other 2 red dots also have a very high degree of overlap in the 3D map, indicating that the 2 people are very close. Sister Yunbing, Sister Yunxi, we found it. Father-in-law and mother-in-law are still alive. It's in the inner circle of the Yaoing imperial clan, in a small world, he said happily to the 2 women. Yunbing and Yunxi were stunned. They hadn't recovered from their grief yet. They sobbed, Xiaoyi, don't lie to us and deliberately make us happy. Xiaoyi walked forward and wiped the moisture off the 2 girls' pretty cheeks with his sleeves, kissed them twice, and said happily, I never lie to myself. Beast girl. Not to mention such a serious matter. My father-in-law and mother-in-law are really still alive. Let's go and find them now. Yunbing and Yunxi cried with joy and said Kokatha, Xiaoyi, you are so mean. You said our parents passed away, and now you say they are still alive. You are trying to make us cry. That's right. You just kissed me. And I want to kiss you back. I want one too. 2 smacking sounds. A red lip mark appeared on each of Xiaoyi's cheeks. Not far away, Biima watched this scene, sucked the saliva flowing from his mouth with a slurp, stretched out his little fish to lick his little mouth, and his beautiful eyes were filled with desire. Seeing that things were getting better, many beast girls smiled, while looking at the navigation instructions in his mind. Xiaoyi controlled the palace of time and space and floated towards deeper areas in the inner circle of the Yaoing imperial clan. In the imperial palace of the Yaoing imperial family, Yaoing Dingtian received a message from the elders of the elite hall. Someone invaded the elite hall and captured more than 5,000 elite disciples, including more than 70 of the direct descendants of the Yaoing emperor and several hundred potential elite disciples at the Saint Realm level. Yaoing Dingtian was furious, and the water cup in his hand burst with a bang, and purple crystal fragments scattered all over the ground. Who is that person who actually attacks the Yaoing imperial family? You are so bold that you don't want to live anymore. With a gloomy face, he transmitted the message. I'll be right there. Those elite disciples and direct descendants are the foundation and future of the Yaoing imperial family, and must not be lost. His figure flashed and disappeared from the spot. Xiaoyi was controlling the palace of time and space and heading towards the imperial palace of the Yaoing imperial family. But suddenly, the palace of time and space slammed on the brakes. Hey! The coordinates of the red dot have changed. Is the laboratory in some portable little world? The The spatial coordinates change with the position of the owner in the outside world. But, in whose hands is this little world? He found it difficult to handle. Controlling the palace of time and space, he floated back to the elite hall he had just come out of. When the scene in the elite hall appeared on the screen above Xiaoyi, his face froze. This burly man, wearing an imperial robe, should be the patriarch of the Yaoing imperial clan. The spatial coordinates are where the patriarch of this imperial clan is located. This is a bit difficult. Upon hearing this, Yun Bing and Yun Shi clenched their teeth and stared at the burly man in the emperor's robe with sharp eyes. This person is the mastermind behind kidnapping their parents. I really want to skin him alive, cut off his flesh piece by piece with a knife and feed it to the dogs, and let his soul burn as a sky lantern. Chapter 540 For father-in-law and mother-in-law are still alive. Title, Hao Li. Zichila is broken. Xiaoyi said, Sister King Cheng, can you improve your realm now? Let's just kill him. Gu King Cheng analyzed the current situation and said, it is not appropriate for us to directly conflict with the Yaoing Emperor clan's patriarch at this moment. Let's go back to the Z family first. Uncle and aunt should be rescued in the next few days. The spirit behind that is paying attention to the movements of the Yaoing Emperor clan leader. If we attack directly, we might anger the god. If the god attacks the Z family will have no power to resist and will be wiped out in an instant. The future empress said in her spiritual see, that's right. Let's go back to the Z family first. According to what I experienced in my previous life, although the Z family suffered some losses later, its foundation has not been shaken. If the gods are angered, the Z family will be in danger. Xiaogu, persuade your husband to go back to the Z family first. Xiaoyi glanced at the angry Yun Shi and Yun Bing, and said, why don't we go back to the Z family? My father-in-law and mother-in-law will definitely be rescued. We must put the overall situation first. He felt quite embarrassed. With Yun Shi and Yun Bing on one side and the Z family on the other. Both sides are his beast girls' families. He cannot destroy one family because of the other. If I go back to the Z family and let the situation develop naturally, I can rescue my father-in-law and mother-in-law, and the Z family will not be wiped out. This is the best of both worlds and is undoubtedly the best choice. Gu King Cheng said, Xiao Bing and Xiao Shi, I promise that I will personally rescue your uncle and aunt. Please believe me. The most urgent task at the moment is to return to the Z family. Yun Shi nodded and said, okay, let's go back to the Z family first. Dad and Mom, we will be able to rescue you soon. Yun Bing said, please forgive my daughter for being incompetent and not being able to rescue you in the first place. Just hold on for a while, and you will be able to meet us soon. Afterwards, the palace of time and space quietly floated away without anyone noticing. After leaving the Yaoing imperial clan city, the giant star beast carried the small palace and galloped towards the Z family. When we arrived at the Z family's area, we heard the rumbling sounds of fighting. Outside the Z family city, there were more than 20 Saint Realm powerful men from the Yaoing Emperor's clan, shouting arrogantly there. Blast down the Z family's city wall. I have long disliked the Z family. The clan leader has finally ordered an attack on the Z family. Now is the time for me to show my skills. Z family trash. Get out here. Grandpa. More than 20 terrifying attacks containing the power of rules were thrown onto the city wall by them recklessly. The Holy Realm restrictions outside the city wall were broken layer by the attacks. The huge and intact city wall was shattered by the terrifying offensive of the rules, and the city gate collapsed and turned into ruins. The plaque with Z family Holy City written in a flamboyant style was blasted to pieces. Above the collapsed city wall, the faces of the purple family saints turned red with anger. Their fists clenched, and they shouted angrily. Old man guarding the city. I want them dead. Yes. They are so arrogant. Let's just attack and kill these villains. I can't bear it anymore. Even if it means going against my orders, I will kill them. Lord, if you don't issue an order now, when will you issue an order? 3 or 2 5th-level saints of the Z family directly attacked. The might of the power of the rules of destiny roared forward and struck towards the frivolous saints of the Yaoing family. However, the master of the perfect realm of the Yaoing family easily resisted the attack of the Z family's Saint Realm with a wave of his hand, and said distaffanially, the city gates have been blown down, and they are still so timid. The Z family is really rubbish. He was arrogant, spoke contemptuously, and even made sarcastic remarks. God, it's getting dark. A giant star beast that blocked out the sky appeared above the Yaoing family's holy land. A naturally revealed pressure from the peak of the quasi-emperor realm caused all the Supreme Realm Saint Realm members of the Yaoing Imperial clan to change color. Horror, great horror. This dangerous aura that made them unable to move and caused their hearts to palpitate was at least at the quasi-emperor level. The giant star beast swept its eyes and emitted a burst of Kama rays, which penetrated the Holy Land with overwhelming force. Those holy and supreme realms of the Yaoing imperial clan turned into ashes the moment they came into contact with the gamma rays. They evaporated in an instant without leaving any residue. They were deader than dead. Above the ruins of the city wall, a group of saints from the Z family were silent as a cicada with their hair standing on end. The giant star beast transformed into Zhang Zunan, who was wearing a wide-sleeved fairy dress. She had a tall and explosive figure, and a faint smile appeared on her beautiful face. She held up the palace of time and space in one hand, and put the other hand behind her back, landing in front of the group of purple family saints. The Z family holy realm quickly took a step back, as if facing a formidable enemy. An old man with slightly white hair came down, bowed respectfully and said, "Thank you for helping me, Senior. I wonder what business you have in coming to my family?" Zhang Zunan said calmly, "I'm looking for Zidao, the head of the Z family." The old man guarding the city said a little stiffly, "Please follow me, Senior, and wait in the guest hall. I will report to the clan leader right away." At this time, a golden light gate appeared, and Xiao Yi, Ziran, and Huang Fu Xiangling walked out of it. Dressed in a purple robe, she smiled pure and innocently. "Master, do you still remember me?" At first glance, the old man guarding the city felt that this pure and beautiful girl was somewhat familiar. After a closer look, his pupils shrank, and he half knelt on the ground and said respectfully, "Welcome the saint girl back to the Z family." The saints of the Z family above widened their eyes. "Is this the saint girl of the Z family who escaped to the secular world 1,000 years ago?" They all fell down, half knelt and clasped their fists and said, "Welcome the saint back to the Z family. Welcome the saint back to the Z family." Ziran looked at everything in front of her with nostalgia. The happy life in the Z family before she was 18 emerged in her mind, and the corners of her rosy lips curled up slightly. But when she saw the broken and shabby city gate, her face darkened and the good mood that had just risen up disappeared in an instant. "Xiao Yi, Xiangling, let's go in." Ziran carried Xiao Yi into the air and quickly crossed towards the inner circle of the Z family. Zhang Zunan stamped her feet and said angrily, "Sister Ziran, there is still me. Although I am not a human, you are a real dog." She disappeared in a flash. The elder moved his lips and wanted to say that flying was prohibited within the Z family's territory, but as he looked at the receding figure, he did not say it out loud. Ziran brought the white-haired girl Xiao Yi to the Z family temple and met the Zidao couple and Tens Only elders. Zidao and his wife were overjoyed. "My daughter, you finally came back." Ziran rushed over, hugged them, and said with mixed feelings, "Dad and Mom, your daughter is back. And Xiao Yi, he's here too. This white-haired man is my apprentice. His name is Huang Fu Xiangling." Joy appeared in the eyes of the 10 elders, but when they thought of the invasion of the Yaoing Emperor's clan, their faces became worried again. Zidao laughed and said, "Son-in-law, we meet again. Don't forget our agreement. Within 1,000 years, let's Ire and I hold our granddaughter in our arms." Ziran let go of the two people and asked in confusion, "Xiao Yi, have you been here?" Xiao Yi nodded. "I came here to ask for some resources before, but I didn't tell you." Then he waved his hand. In the huge open space of the hall, there appeared nearly 10,000 wailing descendants of the Yaoing Emperor's collateral and direct branches. Their facial features were twisted in pain, their eyes revealed despair, and they cried miserably in agony. The 10 elders were startled, their faces filled with joy, and they said excitedly, "These are the core elites of the Yaoing imperial clan? His realm is gone, his aura is disordered, his foundation is destroyed, his hands and feet are broken, and he has become a real useless person. There are still more than 200 disabled Saint Realm Masters, to Quasi-Emperor Realm Elders. It's so terrifying." Xiao Yi smiled and said, "Father-in-law and mother-in-law, this is my gift to the Z family." Chapter 545, The First Queen, he and I are a perfect match. Zidao's divine thoughts scanned all directions and said in shock, "These tens of thousands of Yaoing family members are either collateral or direct descendants, and there are nearly 5,000 core elite descendants of the Yaoing imperial clan. Son-in-law, you have captured all the potential stocks of the Yaoing imperial family. Okay, great." He said it very happily. Zidao received information from spies that the Yaoing imperial family was planning to go into all-out war with the Z family in order to destroy them. He was angry and sad, with a lot of negative emotions accumulated in his heart, but he couldn't tell the elders. Now, this big gift from Xiao Yi made him very happy. Xiao Yi smiled and said, Father-in-law and mother-in-law, how about my gift? Zitao patted his arm excitedly and laughed heartily. Very good. I like this gift very much. You are worthy of being my good son-in-law. The 10 elders of the Z family clasped their fists and said respectfully, Young master, your action really makes us happy. Yes, the Yaoing imperial family is too arrogant. Now we have lost 90 of our potential at once, and the family's future has been cut off. With these 200 insane realms, the Yaoing imperial clan's mid-range combat power has been reduced by 50 in one fell swoop. It feels so good, so good. The look they gave Xiaoyi was filled with respect. In his heart, he recognized the young master of the Z family as the future heir of the Z family. Zitao asked in confusion, Son-in-law, how did you sneak into the Yaoing imperial clan and capture so many core descendants right under the noses of the Yaoing imperial clan? The 10 elders of the Z family also looked puzzled. The Yaoing imperial family is heavily guarded. Even if a quasi-emperor wanted to sneak in, it would be very difficult, let alone capturing nearly 10,000 elite descendants of the Yaoing emperor's family right under their noses. These are the foundations of the Yaoing imperial clan. Xiaoyi waved his hand. Come here, little maid. Zhang Zunan's indifferent expression changed, and she became smiling. She jumped to Xiaoyi's side, blinked, and said, My lord, what do you want from the little maid? Xiaoyi pointed at her and introduced her, formally introduce. This is my little maid, Zhang Zunan. The original form is a giant star beast, and the realm is at the peak of the quasi-emperor realm. It was all thanks to the little maid that we were able to catch him so smoothly. Zhang Zunan blinked. Is it my credit? The peak of the quasi-emperor realm. The Zidao couple and the 10 elders of the Z family were all shocked. This beautiful girl who looked well-behaved and harmless was actually at the peak of the quasi-emperor realm. What does it mean to be at the peak of the quasi-emperor realm? He is the strongest man at the top of the pyramid of Blue Star and a top powerful person who can stand on the same level as the Yaoing imperial clan. Their Z family has been passed down for hundreds of thousands of years, and there has never been a quasi-emperor at the peak of the realm in the family. The highest one is only in the late quasi-emperor realm, and there is still a long way to go before reaching the perfection of the quasi-emperor realm. After the shock, the elders' eyes turned into wei-filled ones, and the way they looked at Xiaoyi was filled with fear. The strongest person at the peak of the quasi-emperor realm is the maid of this young man. Xiaoyi smiled faintly and said, The Yaoing imperial clan is going to war with the Z clan this time. You don't need to panic or worry. As a member of the Z clan, I will do my best to help the Z clan fight against the Yaoing imperial clan. My little maid will also help to kill the peak quasi-emperor of the Yaoing imperial clan. The more the Zidao couple and the 10 elders listened, the brighter their eyes became. In the end, their faces were full of smiles, even brighter than my children. Zidao was excited, and an irrepressible excitement surged from his heart. He hugged Xiaoyi and kissed him on the face, laughing crazily. Good, great. With my son-in-law and this senior joining us, why should my Z family fear the Yaoing imperial clan? If the Yaoing imperial clan dares to come, we will destroy them. The 10th elder was also very excited and laughed happily. Xiaoyi thought of Yunbing and Yunxi's parents. A trace of gloom flashed in his eyes, and said, Even if they don't come, we will still kill our way into the Yaoing imperial clan and destroy them. Zhang Zunan supported them and waved her fists, saying, My lord is right. The Yaoing imperial clan must be destroyed. The white-haired girl interrupted and shouted, Xiaoyi, I support you. Zirin rolled her eyes at Zidao and said, You already have a wife. Why are you kissing my husband? Zidao noticed the gaze and let go of Xiaoyi awkwardly. His face turned serious, and he took out the Z family leader's token and issued an order. The Z family is going to war with the Yaoing imperial family. Kill them all you see. Leave no one alive. Eliminate the roots, and spare no old, weak, sick, or disabled person. The 10 elders were extremely excited. Kill him without leaving a single piece of armor. What everyone didn't notice was that next to Xiaoyi, in the space, stood a stunningly beautiful woman, wearing a slim-fitting slit ancient robe with mysterious runes, which showed off her devilishly graceful figure to the fullest. Her proud eyes were filled with curiosity as she kept looking at Xiaoyi from head to toe. This is the human emperor of Blue Star, the man destined to rule the universe? He is tall and straight, with an unparalleled handsome appearance, and a pure and unworldly temperament, yet majestic and domineering. Let me see through it. Oh, it's so big. If you become his wife, you have to submit to it. It seems I need to be mentally prepared. Suddenly, she felt as if a great terror was coming. She, who had already reached the 3rd stage of the Emperor realm, had palpitations and retreated to meters in an instant. Under the shocked gaze of the Queen of Space ancestor, Xiaoyu was filled with a pillar of luck and light that reached the heavens and the earth and led to the vast universe. Around the pillar of luck and light, there is also the aura of the noble human emperor. It was this pillar of luck and light, accompanied by the purple aura of the emperor of humanity, that made her feel palpitations. It would be fine if she didn't use the perspective to peek, but once she did, if her eyes intruded on the young man, she would be repelled by the pillar of luck and light. The first queen had a serious expression. The human emperor. He is definitely the human emperor of Blue Planet. The human emperor of the Milky Way. She couldn't tell whether it was the trend of the universe, but she could see the purple aura of the human emperor, because she herself had the queen's purple light column on her body. The reason why she is called the Queen of Space is that, on the one hand, she is in control of the origin of the space rules of Blue Planet. No, the Milky Way. On the other hand, she is a life form with the queen's purple light column. In one era, two emperors appeared. As the saying goes, one mountain cannot accommodate two tigers. It's either you die or I live. Only one can survive, unless it's a male and a female. A hint of strangeness emerged on the beautiful face of the space ancestor queen. Could it be that he and I are made for each other? That's such a big one. Her pretty face turned red. If I want to be with my sister, the Time Queen, forever, I must first become this young man's wife. My body has become more and more human-like in recent years. What the beast girl can do, I can do. What the beast girl can't do, I can do too. What the world can't imagine, I can still do. I, the first Queen of Space, don't believe that I can't take down this young man. She secretly made up her mind to capture Xiaoyi as soon as possible, and then let her sister, the Time Empress, who was above the Imperial realm, appear. Chapter 546, Mythical Tao-Ai. Invincible in the same level, she looked down at herself. Her skin is as white as ice and as clear as crystal. The figure is graceful, charming, cute, domineering. She has a devilish figure that is not inferior to any other female creature. Her front and back are taller than Mount Everest, and she also has a pair of deadly long legs. In terms of appearance and figure, I am better than his beast girls. In terms of realm and qualifications, I am at the top of the mythical level, and I think I am not inferior to anyone. In terms of luck and destiny, I am the ruler of the Milky Way, the Queen of the Milky Way. If it were ordinary men, she could make them fall in love with her with just a wave of her hand, but she didn't care. No male life form could trample on her. But when it came to Xiaoyi, she found it difficult to take action. Because of the importance attached to it, I feel a little restrained. Well, wait for the right moment to see if I can gain the trust of this young man. The Queen of Time sighed. Xiaoyi and the others were unaware that they were being spied on. At this time, a soldier from the Z family came to report. The second wave of Saint Realms from the Yaoing Imperial clan has already reached the gate of the Z family city. After we forcefully killed 2 enemy saints, the enemy became furious and killed 4 of our saints in a row. Z Daoqi laughed. Since we have started an all-out war, don't be timid and attack with all your might. Everyone of the Z family, listen to my order. Follow me to attack and destroy the Yaoing Emperor clan. Son-in-law, daughter, you should stay here. Your realm is still relatively low. If you go out, you will inevitably be attacked by powerful enemies. As for this senior, when the Yaoing Emperor clan's patriarch arrives, how about you help me contain him? Many people in the Z family have the attributes of devouring, destiny, template, and creating. He possesses exclusive talents and skills that draw on the power of the future, which can temporarily elevate his realm and unleash combat power to kill members of the Yaoing Imperial clan. However, this kind of innate skill has its drawbacks. The improvement in realm is only temporary, and the body will enter a period of weakness afterwards. Therefore, this kind of innate skill cannot be used casually. Once you fail to kill the opponent and enter a weak period, you will be a lamb to be slaughtered and will have no power to resist at all. This kind of innate skill can only be used as a trump card. It should not be used unless it is a life and death moment. The 10 elders of the Purple family also said, Young master, Saint girl, you can just be the logistics support in the rear. Just kill the Yaoing Emperor's family and leave it to us old guys. The Queen of Space stood beside Xiaoyi, wanting to see how he would respond. Xiaoyi waved his hand. No, I finally have a chance to fight. I have to stretch my fists and feet. Sister Ziyaran, you don't want to be a logistics person, right? Ziran's eyes burst with murderous intent. Of course, I am also a member of the Z family. And I am also a 4th level Saint Realm. enough to kill a few Yaoing Saint realms. Since she was promoted to a mythical template, her combat power has increased hundreds of times, but she has never used her full strength. This time, it is a good opportunity to see if we can fully unleash our mythical combat power. Zidao hesitated for a moment, then decided, okay, if my daughter and son-in-law want to perform, I have to give them a chance to do so. He waved his hand and said, let's go. Everyone rose into the air, mobilizing more than 90 of the Z family's combat power and charged towards the city gate. The Queen of Space also followed quietly. Hidden in space, no one can find it. When everyone arrived at the city gate, the fighting here had already become very fierce. In a life and death battle, the first move is a killing move. The elder greeted everyone one by one and explained the battle situation. Our casualties far exceeded those of the enemy. We lost more than 10 Saint realms and seriously injured more than 30 Saint realms. The situation is not very optimistic, which has caused some low morale on our side. Zidao's face darkened, and he was about to wave his hand to let all the Saint realm of the Z family attack, using more people to defeat fewer. But at this moment, a huge monster appeared on the battlefield. It was a gluttonous beast that was 10,000 meters long and had a huge mouth full of sharp teeth. He turned around and was shocked to find that Xiaoyan Ziran had disappeared at some point and turned into summoned beasts, and entered the battlefield. The 4th level Holy Realm Tao I exudes terrifying aura, and powerful force of rules surges out. It stepped onto the battlefield alone, facing more than 30 ferocious beasts in the early, middle and late stages of the Holy Realm from the Yaoing Imperial clan. The powerful might frighten all the ferocious beasts and humans present. The ferocious beasts of the 5 elements of the Yaoing Emperor's clan all subconsciously took a step back, frightened by the might of the quasi-emperor. The elders of the Z family looked horrified. Tao Dai, who was at the 4th level of the Saint realm, could actually exert such tremendous power that even these elders at the middle stage of the quasi-emperor realm were secretly shocked. In the other camp, the quasi-emperor realm elder took a look and said disdainfully, "It's just a 4th level Saint realm beast. Don't panic. Let's go together and take it down." Upon hearing this, the more than 30 holy beasts of the Yaoing Emperor's clan, who had been frightened away by the terrifying power, became furious and let out terrifying roars. Go, the little minions of the 4th level of the Bible, thunder and rain, just dance. More than 30 ferocious beasts suddenly rushed forward, and various rules of the 5 elements attacked instantly. In an instant, regular thorns, regular fire beams, regular water bombs, and regular wood snake vines appeared around Tao Ordoi and attacked it. Tao Tui's eyes were calm, and a black hole body emerged, covering his body and turning into a black hole. The black hole burst out with a terrifying devouring force. No matter what kind of attack rules are used, they will be absorbed by the black hole, refined and nourished. Weak. Too weak. The Imperial family is only this weak in combat power? A disdainful chuckle came from the black hole, and then it suddenly shot towards the ferocious beasts of the 5 elements. Like a meteor streaking across the night sky, it instantly crashed into the body of a ferocious beast that had reached the perfect holy realm. Bang! Like a planetary collision, it hit the ferocious beast in the perfect holy realm with violent force, directly turning him into a bloody mist, like blood-colored smoke. It celebrates the perfect death of the holy realm. The blood mist appeared for a moment and was absorbed by the black hole in an instant. Then, the black hole smoothly drew a curve in the air and rushed towards the next ferocious beast without any pause. Bang! 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 In milliseconds, more than 20 ferocious beasts from the Holy Realm were collided continuously. Everything was blown into a bloody mist. No one was spared. Ziran was very excited. In her perception, these ferocious beasts from the Holy Realm were so weak that they could not withstand a single blow and would explode if hit. Is this the power of the mythical template? She had a feeling that in the Holy Realm, she was invincible among her peers. Even if it is a quasi-emperor level ferocious beast, she can balance it. Retreat. 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 The 8 or 9 Holy Realm ferocious beasts from the Yaoing Imperial clan at the scene retreated hurriedly with fear in their eyes, fearing that they would be the next to be hit. The quasi-emperor elder of the Yaoing family had an extremely ugly expression on his face, with shock in his eyes. Everyone in the Z family applauded. The Zidao couple looked shocked, and the 10 elders were stunned. Tao Dai, who is at the 4th level of the Saint realm, is so powerful that he can kill Saint realm beings like butchering dogs, and can kill them instantly with one move. Chapter 547 The Strategy of the Space Ancestor Queen. The morale of the more than 500 saints in the Z family camp was originally low, but now they were encouraged and everyone looked excited. The young master is mighty. The saint is mighty. Crush them. There's nothing to be afraid of about the Yaoing Imperial clan. I also want to go into battle and kill the enemy. I can't hold back my excitement. The Yaoing Imperial clan is just a bunch of little ants. We in the Z family can crush them to death at will. From now on, the young master and the saint are my idols. When I get back, I will take a photo of them and stick it on the wall for worship. I will kneel down and worship with 3 meats, 1 vegetable, and a good drink every day. Those seriously injured Saint Realm members of the Z family whose Tao hearts were shattered, also became excited. If you want to rise up in rebellion, join the battlefield and fight against the ferocious beast Taodai. Taodai's invincibility boosted the confidence of everyone in the Z family. In the sky, a pair of eyes were watching everything below, and surprise appeared on Aoshi's pretty face. This kind of crushing battle, invincible in the same realm, can only be achieved by the template dimension crushing. They are mythical templates. Humans can actually possess a mythical template. Wow, this is interesting. This is the creation of the human emperor. Then, she frowned and looked a little depressed. In the same realm, when a mythical template fights against a low-level template, it is a dimensional crushing, destroying everything in its path, and the opponent has no power to resist. If the human emperor had always been so invincible and protected the Z family would not have suffered the crisis of genocide. How can she take action? The Yaoing Imperial family is to rubbish. That 5-element spirit has never been to the starry sky battlefield, and has never contributed to the peace of the Milky Way. This god has always been robbing the 5 elements of the allied planets in the Milky Way. His deeds are bad and his behavior is improper. He has long been notorious in the Milky Way. If we can take this opportunity to get rid of the 5-element spirits, and let the 5-element origin have a new owner, that would be great. The shocking plan flashed through the first queen's mind, and she planned to implement it. Below, a giant gluttonous beast, surrounded by terrifying power of rules, stepped out of the black hole with a proud look in its eyes. The dozen or so 5-element beasts left from the Yaoing Emperor's clan at the scene all had solemn expressions and frightened eyes, and they didn't even have the courage to look her in the eye. Every time the gluttonous beast took a step forward, they took a step back. It was as if Taodai was a great terror, and anyone who got close to it would die without a burial place. In his mind, Ziran laughed and said, Xiaoyi, this is the power of the mythical template. It's too strong. I declare that I am invincible within the Holy Land. Any saint realm that comes here will be trampled under my feet and ruthlessly ravaged. Xiaoyi, just step on them in your beast form. Not in your human form. In human form, you are only allowed to step on me. Just reward me. Ziran's face darkened. She said angrily, I wanted to step on you, but you wouldn't let me. And it only happened once a week. If you can go easy on me and pay me your dues once a day, I can not only step on you, but I can even ride on you. Her tone was full of resentment. Xiaoyi chuckled and said, Tonight, I'll let you ride me when we get back. Ziran, she didn't want to pay any more attention to this bastard and turned her attention back to the giant gluttonous beast. The gluttonous beast roared, making an ancient beast roar that echoed throughout the sky. You rubbish. Are you scared? In the dignified Yaoing Imperial clan, there is not a single outstanding saint. Hearing this, the fierce beasts in the Yaoing Emperor clan's camp looked unhappy. A quasi-emperor level fierce beast soldier snorted coldly and said disaffectedly, My Yaoing Imperial clan has produced many geniuses. Among our peers, there are more than 5,000 elite disciples who can crush you. Don't look at the world with your short-sighted eyes. Once the elite descendants of our Yaoing Imperial clan arrive, you will be nothing more than a small fry. When those ferocious beasts in the Holy Realm heard this, their eyes lit up. Yes, they are just ordinary saints. There are many elite saints in the Imperial clan who can defeat them with one move. The giant glutton in front of him looks invincible. They are comparable to the elite descendants of the Imperial family. However, the Z family only has one genius in the Holy Realm like the Taodai beast, while their Yaoing Imperial clan has more than 5,000. After thinking about it, they changed their decadent attitude and became arrogant and domineering. Speaking in the language of the Zon people, Alpaca, what the hell? Beating us is nothing. If you dare compete with our idol, that's right, it's just trash. The Z family has geniuses, but we in the Yaoing Imperial clan have plenty. Leaving aside the Taodai beast, your Z family is nothing. Our Imperial family can be crushed to death by a fart. These T0 level remarks made the Taodai beast twitch its mouth. Why are these people so blindly confident? Just because they are from the Yaoing Imperial family? The overlord of the rule realm for hundreds of thousands of years? If she wasn't confused, those elite students would have become useless by now. When the holy beasts in the Yaoing Emperor's camp saw that the Taodai beast was silent, they roared even more arrogantly, with an attitude of arrogance and a look of disdain. The quasi-emperor realm ferocious beast general and their camp said happily, "Everyone, please be patient. Our army has arrived. 90% of the saints in the imperial clan are here. More than 90 of the elders and clan leaders will also come forward. The Yaoing imperial clan will launch an all-out clan war against the Z clan." The ferocious beasts in the Holy Realm were so happy that they all wanted to bring out their idols to fight. For example, the direct disciples of the city guarding elders, the eldest disciple, second disciple, third disciple, 100th disciple of the elite hall's elders and so on. Outside the Z family, a dark mass of things surged over, both in the sky and on the ground, with an aura like a dark cloud pressing down on a city, threatening to destroy it. Zitao waved his hand. All members of the Z family, transform into ferocious beasts and fight. When the crisis comes, you can use your future talents to fight without regard for the consequences. Even if you die, you must take the enemy with you. Roar, roar, roar. In an instant, the Z family's world was filled with giant beasts. The space above and below the ground was filled with darkness. The giant Taodai beast stood in the middle, facing the thousands of giant beasts in the Yaoing Emperor's camp without any panic, as if he would not change his expression even if a mountain fell on his head. "Master, you are so handsome, Xiaoyi. I love you so much." Little stars appeared in the beautiful eyes of the white-haired girl. She took out a transformation crystal from her skirt and swallowed it in one gulp. She also transformed into a little Taodai and stood next to the Taodai monster. Those eyes were filled with excitement, and he stood on the ground with his hands on his hips. "I, Biayama, can also stand alone against an army of thousands and change the color of the world," she said in a rather childish voice. In the Yaoing Emperor's camp, all the ferocious beasts in the Holy Realm were speechless. The quasi-emperor realm ferocious beast general looked back and found something was wrong, and said, "Where is the elder guarding the city? Why are there only more than 300 ferocious beasts in the Holy Realm? These holy realms are all ordinary holy realms. The clan leader doesn't intend to let the elite saints fight?" More than a dozen ordinary holy realm beasts that were originally here looked confused. At this time, Zidao, who had transformed into a platinum-colored Taodai, waved his hand, and nearly 10,000 useless people appeared in front of Ziran's Taodai monster, and a voice resounded, "Are you looking for this garbage?" Chapter 548 Biayama's death. These people's facial features were twisted in pain. Their broken limbs and bodies were struggling on the ground like termites, wailing in pain. The sound was so sad. The two naked people in the middle were hugging each other, and the connection point was not broken yet. But amidst their 90 pain, there was still a hint of excitement. In the Yaoing Imperial clan's camp, the quasi-emperor realm ferocious beast general saw this and his body trembled several times, with his pupils shrinking into a tiny dot. These are all the side disciples and main disciples of the clan, as well as the core elite disciples. They're all wasted. His voice was trembling, and he felt like the sky was falling. These are the foundation of the Yaoing Imperial family, and the future of the Yaoing Imperial family. But now, they are all disabled. Those arrogant ordinary saints who were clamoring just now were all silenced, as if there was something stuck in their throats, unable to make a sound, and their faces turned the color of liver. After a long time, he spoke angrily. "The chief disciple guarding the city, Chu Yang, my idol, how could you be having an affair with the master's wife? You are a piece of trash. Bah! How come the core elites from the 1st to the 100th place on the Tianzhou ranking are all in it? Damn you, Purple Saint clan. What on earth did you do to our idol?" In the rear, the army of the Yaoing Imperial family arrived. When the elder took a look at the 20,000-meter-long quasi-emperor beast, his eyes were about to burst and his heart was about to break. "Asshole, it turns out that your Z family has captured the 5,000 core elites of my elite hall. The future of the Yaoing Imperial family is gone." Upon hearing this, the quasi-emperor realm ferocious beast general was furious and said, "Lord, what do you do for a living? As a lecturer and guardian of the elite hall, how could you let the Z family capture all the core elites? If I were you, I would just find a piece of tofu and kill myself." When the quasi-emperor realm ferocious beast elder heard this, his face was filled with guilt and anger, and he said, "It's my fault, but I am powerless. The Z family used a quasi-emperor treasure to sneak into our clan and capture our clan members. We tried our best to stop them, but it was useless. In the end, the Z family treasure escaped and we couldn't track it." The quasi-emperor realm ferocious beast general raised his hand and gave the elder a big slap, angrily saying, after returning, I must ask the clan leader to send you to the void space and confine you for 10,000 years. Hey, where's the patriarch? Why didn't he come? At this time, the giant Taudai kicked the little Taudai and said, speechless lie, white hair, get out of here quickly. If the battle breaks out later, we won't be able to take care of you. The little Taoji Ui was kicked more than 100 meters away and fell to the ground in a mess. Ouch. I wanted to fight with my master. What was wrong with me? Xiaoyi, I want you to see my BAM-Oz ability. I, BAM-O, am also very good. It flipped over and jumped back to the side of the gluttonous beast. With his hands on his hips, he said arrogantly, well, Yaoing Imperial Clan, with me, BAM-O, here, you can't do anything rash to the Z family. If you come with one, my master will kill one. If you come with two, my master will kill a pair. The 200 or so ferocious beasts in the Holy Realm on the opposite side laughed angrily. A piece of trash at the venerable realm dares to challenge the Yaoing Imperial Clan. Where does the courage come from? Go, kill this little bastard and bring him back to our tribe. Even if they are disabled, there may be hope for their recovery. As long as we allow them to recover, our Yaoing Imperial Clan will still have a glorious future. Roar, roar, roar. More than 200 saints from the Yaoing Imperial Clan attack simultaneously from the sky, on the ground and underground, rushing towards the black gold Taudai monster and the little Taudai. Seeing the other party coming at him like an army of annihilation, the little Taudai shrank his neck and quickly hid behind the black and gold Taudai beast, saying tremblingly, Master, you have a way to kill them all, right? The gluttonous beast's face turned dark, and it kicked her with its hind legs, sending her flying tens of thousands meters away. Landing in the Z family camp, the platinum glutton that Z Dao and his wife transformed into roared angrily and said, Purple family holy land, everyone attack. Don't worry about those useless people. If they can be trampled to death, then trample them to death. If they can be steamed, then steam them. Roar, roar, roar. More than 500 ferocious beasts from the holy realm of the Z family rushed towards the Yaoing Imperial Clan in an overwhelming manner. Among them are the Taudai beast, the Tianjiou beast, and the Kanjialong beast. Most of them are of devouring attribute, a small number are of creative attribute beasts, and some are of destiny attribute beasts. The black gold gluttonous beast sneered, come on. It immediately transformed into a huge black hole 10,000 meters across, emitting a dark cosmic light and filled with terrifying power. It directly transformed into a meteor and crashed towards the holy beast of the Yaoing Emperor's clan. The ferocious beasts such as Taudai, Tianjiou, Kanjialong and so on that were charging from the Z family in the rear were encouraged. Their speed suddenly increased greatly and their power became much stronger. From then on, the two armies fought. The mountains collapsed, the earth cracked, and the sky and the earth became dark. The power of the five elements rules and the power of the destiny and creation attributes filled the entire world. The sky in the central area of the rule world was dark. Stop it. Everyone stop it. We can't move. Save us first. Master's wife. Give us one last shot while we're still alive. It doesn't matter if I lose my arms and legs. I can still use my third leg. Alright, let's be unbridled one last time in front of your damned master, and show him that not everyone has 3 seconds. Among the nearly 10,000 disabled people, some are sad, some are happy, some are parasites, and some have turned into hungry wolves. There was another person, with his teeth bared and his eyes wide open. The aftermath of the battle of rules that penetrated the heavens and the earth quickly turned nearly 10,000 useless people in the center of the battle into steam. The Yaoing Imperial family has ruined their own future with their own hands. Among them, there are hundreds of descendants of Patriarch Yaoing. When the two armies were fighting, the Z family had more than 500 holy realm ferocious beasts, including demon level, genius level, and ordinary level. But among the more than 200 holy realm ferocious beasts on the side of the Yaoing Emperor's clan, 80 were of ordinary level, and the remaining 20 were at genius level. As for the monster level, they had already become disabled and died in the aftermath of the battle. The first wave of large-scale war between the two sides is destined to be a one-sided crushing war. The devouring beasts of the Z family became more and more courageous as the battle went on. When they were 2 against 1, they were able to use a combined attack tactic in a short while, severely injuring the beasts of the Yaoing Emperor's clan and then slaughtering them. Ziran and Xiaoyi transformed into giant black and gold gluttonous beasts, and they killed anyone they hit. With no rivals, in less than an hour, 70 of the holy level beasts of the Yaoing Emperor's clan were killed in the battle, and the remaining 30 were rescued by the quasi-emperor level beast elders. The Z family won a huge victory. All the ferocious beasts of the Z family became excited, and their morale rose to an unprecedented level. Seeing the Quasi-Emperor realm joining the battlefield, the Z family also dispatched the Quasi-Emperor realm. The ferocious beasts in the Holy Realm withdrew to their respective camps, leaving only the black and gold Taotai, still standing in the center of the battlefield, fearless. The little glutton Bama jumped out again. At this moment, a hidden murderous intent from the peak of the Quasi-Emperor realm arrived in an instant. He crashed towards the black and gold Taotai, wanting to kill it in one fell swoop. The little Taotai was jumping in front of the black and gold Taotai. When the murderous intent appeared, it hit her on the back, breaking her into pieces on the spot, and her soul was destroyed. Chapter 549 The Emperor takes action. After the vast murderous intent shattered the small Taotai, its momentum did not weaken at all, and it hit the black and gold Taotai in an instant. Ziran was horrified and quickly moved to avoid it. But the black gold Taotai is only at the 4th level of the Saint Realm. How could he avoid the sneak attack from the peak of the Quasi-Emperor realm? Layers of golden restrictions appeared on the surface of the black and golden Taotai. The murderous intent bombarded the restrictions without splashing any water, like mud entering the sea. I'm fine? Ziran was surprised. Xiaoyi controlled the black gold Taotai and put the little Taotai's broken soul into the soul-capturing bead. White hair. I let you take the limelight. Now it's gone, he said unhappily, controlling the black gold Taotai to retreat into the Z family camp. His human body condensed from Midra, holding the soul-capturing bead, his eyes full of speechlessness and anger. Ziran also changed back into a human body. Wearing a purple dress, she asked anxiously, "How is Bama?" "The body is completely shattered, and the soul is also shattered." Xiaoyi's face was dark. He quickly took out the soul repair treasure and placed it in the soul space of the soul-capturing bead. But in the soul space, Bama's broken soul still showed no signs of repair. She was already at the point of no return. Her soul was broken too badly. Even the soul-repairing treasure couldn't save her. Dead? Sadness appeared on Ziran's pretty face, and her beautiful eyes were full of pain. Her body trembled violently. She brought up her beloved disciple herself. Since Wangfu Xiangling was 12 years old, she has been by her side. She has taken care of and raised her like her own daughter, and has been with her from beginning to end. Now, he died in front of him. 2 lines of tears slid down from the corners of her eyes. Xiaoyi, you must have a way to save her, right? Xianling won't die. No. Her eyes were red, and she couldn't accept the fact. Xiaoyi was silent. Neither the soul-repairing treasure nor the soul-capturing pearl could save the soul space. He really had no way. The fierce beasts transformed by Zedao and his wife and the fierce beasts of the 10 elders, and their spouses of the Z family came closer and took a look, and said, "When the soul is broken to this extent, it is already dead. Unless there is a way to bring the dead back to life, even if the Emperor comes, he won't be able to save her." Yes. This kid was too reckless. The battlefield is not a joke. How can one just go into the battlefield and show off? This kid paid the price for showing off. Ziran blamed herself and said, "I spoiled her too much in the past. It's all my fault." Zedao said aloud, "The dead cannot be resurrected. We can only accept the reality." Xiaoyi suddenly said, "Wait, her will has not died yet. It seems that she still has some obsession that prevents her soul from dissipating immediately." White hair, what is your wish? Tell me quickly, or we will run out of time. In the soul space, a very weak soul wave emerged. Everyone can tell what it means with their divine sense. "Master, in my next life, I won't be your disciple anymore. If I were your disciple, I wouldn't even be able to marry a husband." Ziran burst into tears. "I shouldn't have stopped you from getting close to Xiaoyi. Xianling, I was wrong. Don't die. Let us marry Xiaoyi together as master and disciple." The Zedao couple and the ferocious beasts of the Z family elders looked at each other. The disciple of the saint also wanted to marry the young master? So outrageous? Even novels don't dare to write like this. That weak soul wave rose and fell intermittently again. "Xiaoyi. Hi, Bamao. Didn't marry you in this life, but I will definitely marry you in the next life. I am still a young lady, and I have never tasted a man." Xiaoyi frowned. "Bamao, if you can survive, I can marry you." The soul fluctuations became more intense. Next life. With a sound of, the obsession and the soul space disappeared, and the soul space could not support the dissipation of the soul body. After a few seconds, Bama's soul body dissipated completely. "Xiaoyi, we will avenge you," he said solemnly. Zekurzam was very sad. The Z family was silent. Xiaoyi held the soul-snatching pearl in his hand. and said with murderous intent in his eyes, Zhang Zunan, slaughter the Yaoing Emperor's family for me. I want him to be exterminated. Use all your strength. No matter what gods they are, we will destroy the Yaoing Emperor family at all costs. Zhang Zunan emerged from the void and said seriously, got it. Sister Qingcheng, can you massacre the entire Yaoing imperial family within 3 seconds? Xiaoyi's spiritual thoughts probed into the palace of time and space. Gu Qingcheng walked out of the golden light gate and nodded. Okay. Xiaoyi's face was gloomy. Just do it. Don't have any reservations. Roared. Roar. Roar. The roar of an ancient beast that had spread across the prairie since ancient times was heard. A 10,000-meter tall giant star beast and a 10,000-meter tall Q-Ilin mythical beast appeared in the sky above the sky. The powerful aura of perfection in the quasi-emperor realm covered the entire place. The Q-Ilin divine beast Sora suddenly soared. From the perfection of the saint realm, it quickly soared to the perfection of the quasi-emperor realm. This was not over yet. With a click, it was promoted to the emperor realm, soaring all the way, and reached the perfection of the first stage of the emperor realm. The pressure of perfection at the surface level of the emperor realm was released, making it difficult for all members of the Yaoing Emperor clan to breathe. The ferocious beasts of the Z family were stunned. This is the perfection of the quasi-emperor realm? And that Q-Ilin? I feel like I'm going to explode just by looking at him. What realm is this? When did we get such a powerful owl? The ferocious beasts transformed by the Zidao couple were filled with excitement. They felt the breath from the origin of the law from the giant Q-Ilin beast. The breath of the imperial realm. The Q-Ilin divine beast is at the imperial level. Fuck. The young master's ally is actually at the emperor level. This time, the Yaoing family must be destroyed. It's time to change the overlord of the rule world. The elders of the Z family were extremely excited. Xiaoyi looked at the 2 giant beasts in the sky that dominated the world and felt very heavy. The first death occurred around him. Although Biema is not his beast girl and can only be considered a friend. As a friend, he also wants to avenge Biema and make the Yaoing Emperor clan pay a devastating price of genocide. What he didn't know was that a mysterious figure appeared in the sky, raised her hand and cast a time rule, covering the soul-capturing bead in his hand. If Xiaoyi paid attention, he would find that the time and the soul capture orb was slowly going backwards. A gluttonous soul body slowly took shape, as if it was turned upside down, and the broken soul body became whole again. The body of a small glutton is also slowly taking shape in the soul space. A personal time reversal. High in the sky, a mysterious figure curled her lips and whispered, Space Queen, you still haven't figured out the human emperor's preferences. I've caught up with this good thing. She stared at Xiaoyi's tall figure with her beautiful eyes, then disappeared. Xiaoyi clenched his hands tightly and said, Little maid, Sister Qingcheng, kill her. Roar, roar, roar. The giant beasts in the starry sky and the divine beast Q-Ilin rushed towards the elders of the Yaoing imperial clan, who were above the quasi-emperor realm like a crashing planet. One is at the peak of the mythical quasi-emperor realm, and the other is at the perfection of the first stage of the temporary emperor realm. With a loud bang, the surface of the earth, covering tens of millions kilometers, sank 10 miles. All the members of the Yaoing imperial clan below the quasi-emperor realm died in an instant. Chapter 550 White hair is alive. The imperial surface level refers to the ability to destroy the surface of any planet at will, and its combat power has reached the top of the planet. A ray of forbidden light rose from the body of Yaoing clan leader Yaoing Dingtian, covering the surrounding quasi-emperor realm elders and blocking the attack from the surface-level emperor realm. But their bodies also sank suddenly 10 miles, and their bones almost fell apart. Dust filled the sky and a mushroom cloud of dust rose into the sky. In everyone's thoughts, on the side of the Yaoing emperor's clan, except for 15 quasi-emperor level ferocious beasts, no other ferocious beasts survived. Yaoing Dingtian looked horrified and said in surprise, This is an attack from the emperor realm. How is it possible? How could the Z family possess an emperor level? The elders were filled with grief and indignation. Dead. All dead. All the fighting forces we brought here are dead. There is no chance of survival. Emperor realm? There is actually an emperor realm on Blue Star. Patriarch, have you been promoted to the emperor realm? Yaoing Dingtian looked at the restrictions on his body. There were still 2 imperial level defensive restrictions left. This was the protective shield given to him by the 5 elements gods. Withdraw. There may be a chance to turn the tables if we go back. Let's retreat quickly. But the Q-Ilin beast and the star beast did not give them any chance, and the most violent rule attacks came in an instant. 2 loud noises, like the collision of stars, resounded. A defensive band rose up again on Yaoing Dingqian's body. They were shaken so hard by the huge shock that they couldn't stand and fell directly to the ground, with their mouths full of mud. Wait, we surrender. Yaoing Dingqian's voice rang out. On the other side, no matter whether they were Quasi-Emperor Realm or Holy Supreme Realm beasts of the Z family, when they saw the two giant beasts in the sky that looked like gods of war, they wiped out the Yaoing Imperial clan completely like a whirlwind. All the ferocious beasts had expressions of shock on their faces. In their eyes, the high and mighty Yaoing Imperial clan, the inviolable overlords of Blue Star, was so fragile and vulnerable under the attack of these two mythical beasts. Like a god, he slaughters fragile creatures at will. His methods are mysterious and his power is unfathomable. The Platinum Tau Gui, the incarnations of the Zidao couple, grinned with his mouth corners twisted to his ears. 90% of the Yaoing Emperor's clan's combat power was destroyed, and the rest were all old, weak, sick, or ordinary practitioners with no potential. This time, the Yaoing Imperial family will be destroyed. Son-in-law, do not accept surrender. I suggest that we wipe out the Yaoing Imperial clan in one fell swoop. Zidao's voice came out from the platinum-colored Taotai. Xiaoyi held the soul-grabbing bead tightly in his hand, and sneered, of course. Ever since they captured my other father-in-law and mother-in-law and killed Biamo, the Yaoing Imperial clan and I have been at war until death. I will destroy the Yaoing Emperor's family. Sister King Cheng, Zhang Zunan, don't pay attention to what they say. Just kill them. He spoke from behind. Future Gu King Cheng glanced at him and said in a voice transmission, they have imperial defense restrictions on them, and my attack will be useless. It's very troublesome to kill them. By now, 3 seconds had passed. In the future, Gu King Cheng's aura suddenly dropped from the perfection of the first stage of the Emperor realm to the peak of the Quasi-Emperor realm, and finally to the perfection of the Saint realm. Her soul body was at the perfect first stage of the Emperor realm, but Gu King Cheng's body was only at the perfect stage of the Saint realm. After continuously improving to major realms, her body could only withstand it for 3 seconds. Broken, Xiaochu ascendentarily used the Palace of Time and Space to take Gu King Cheng into it. After borrowing the power of the future, he will become very weak, and Gu King Cheng no longer has the ability to fight. Zhang Zunan's aura was still strong, like a bright sun floating in the sky. Looking down at the Quasi-Emperor realm on the ground, she sneered and said, I am enough to deal with you. As a Quasi-Emperor at the peak of the mythical template, she is confident that she can single an ash and defeat dozens of Quasi-Emperors at the SS level template. The elder looked at Xiaoyi in the distance. Some images flashed through his mind, and he quickly sent a message to Yaoing Dingqian, Chief, I have investigated the information of that boy. It seems that his beast mother's parents were captured by our family and used as experimental subjects. I'll transmit the message screen to you right now. After Yaoing Dingqian received the information, his eyes sparkled. It turns out that this man is the husband of the Queen of Hanghao City, and also the husband of Yunxi something. It was this Xiaoyi who destroyed the Wu family. I was wondering why there is a Quasi-Emperor realm peakstar beast against us. It was brought by Xiaoyi. The ones who are connected to Xiaoyi are those beast girls. When you catch a test subject in the future, you must exterminate all 9 clans of the test subject. Got it? He growled. The elder, who had transformed into a ferocious beast, nodded. So far, they have shown no signs of regret. The reason was attributed to the fact that the traces of the arrest were not cleaned up properly. If the 9 clans of the experimental subjects had been wiped out before, leaving no trace, then the experimental research would have been erasable and Xiaoyi would not have been provoked. Xiaoyi used the Palace of Time and Space to lock down the members of the Z family. Once there was a fatal danger, the Palace of Time and Space would be collected into the internal space. He was a little annoyed why he didn't lock on Biamo. The Z family's Quasi-Emperor realm beasts rushed forward, hovering over the remaining 15 Quasi-Emperor realm beasts of the Yaoing Imperial clan, and said, Senior, Patriarch Yaoing will leave it to you, and we will take care of the rest. Star Beast, no problem. She forgot that she was not just a beast, but there were 18 Quasi-Emperor beasts in the Z family. At this time, Xiaoyi felt that he was hallucinating. He actually heard Biama's cry in his ears. Xiaoyi, husband, let the nest go. I am Biamo. Alive, hubby, the nest is not dead. Let it go. I'll stop showing off. Okay? Don't lock me up here. It's so eerie and scary. He turned to look at Ziran, who had a dark face, and asked curiously, Sister Ziran, did you hear any sound? Ziran nodded and said with a sad face, It is likely that we are too sad and have auditory hallucinations. Xiaoyi sighed. Alas, Biema's death has changed my mind. If she hadn't died, I would have tried my best to satisfy her and marry her. He held the soul-catching bead in his hand and rubbed his sword like eyebrows in worry. Ziran sobbed, looked up at the sky, and said, Xian Ling, rest in peace. We will build you a pink tomb, in the color and shape you like. I will burn paper money for you every year. Please live well over there. Xiao Yi agreed. Mao, if you meet someone you like over there, just chase him or boldly. Maybe over there, you will fall in love with another man again. The white-haired girl squatted in the soul space with her legs hugged, feeling the chilly yin energy around her, her little face turning pale with fear. I'm obviously not dead and I'm in good health. Why does Xiao Yi want to lock me up here? He doesn't want to marry me? I might as well just die. Outside, a saint realm of the Z family pointed at the soul-capturing pearl in Xiao Yi's hand and said hesitantly, Young master, saint girl, I also heard a sound, and that sound seemed to come from this thing. I'm not sad. On the contrary, I'm very happy. I can't be hallucinating. Xiao Yi and Ziran were stunned. Xiao Yi's spiritual sense probed into the soul space of the soul capture orb and his eyes were stunned. Huangfu Xiangling was actually squatting there alive, with rosy skin and looking energetic, but she was just frightened. Chapter 551, Has the Time Queen been here? What's going on? Didn't Biema's body completely destroyed? His soul shattered? And his will completely dissipated? Why is she squatting alive in the soul space at this moment? Living things can stay in the soul space, but not for long, otherwise problems will arise. Xiao Yi pulled the white hair out. Biema squatted on the ground. His face turned pale with fear, and he kept muttering, Xiao Yi, you big bastard. You promised to marry me if I wasn't dead, but now you've locked me up. You must have changed your mind now. And the stinky master, do you want to eat my feast? I didn't get to eat master's meal, but master almost got to eat mine. Xiaoqi's Iranzi family Saint Realm looked at the white-haired person squatting on the ground, and they looked at each other in confusion. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. Biema, you actually said bad things about me behind my back. Be careful, Sister Ziran is narrow-minded and put you in solitary confinement. Huangfu Xiangling was startled, looked up, and was immediately stunned. I'm out? Xiao Yi, I'm alive. She pounced on him in surprise and hung on Xiao Yi. Xiaoqiwa held her in his hands. Yes, you are alive, but how did you survive? We all thought you were doomed, and there was no way to save you. Ziran's face was full of joy, and she stepped forward to check on her apprentice's physical condition. He discovered that Biema was in very good condition at this moment, without any injuries on her body. As if it was not her who was hit by the terrifying murderous intent just now, and as if what happened just now had never happened. The white-haired girl with twin ponytails looked bewildered. I don't know. I just remember that I spoke a few words to you, and you promised to marry me, and then I rested in peace. But when I opened my eyes again, nothing happened to me. Xiao Yi frowned. There's something strange. It is impossible for Biema to survive for no reason. Someone must have rescued her. But this kind of resurrection power is not as simple as rebirth by dripping blood or healing with a treasure. The soul is broken. The will is gone. And there will definitely be serious sequelae after recovery. But Biema doesn't seem to have any. Hubby, never mind. I'm alive. The little white-haired girl with twin ponytails had a look of surprise on her face, and she pouted and went forward. Xiao Yi, I was actually kissed forcibly. How bold. Your master Ziran is right beside you. The saint realm of the Z family looked away, his mind wandering in the sky, and secretly gave a thumbs up. Young master, you are so awesome. Not only did he capture the saint, but he also bewitched her apprentice. Ziran had a smile on her lips. After experiencing this incident, she had changed her mind. Since my disciple like Xiao Yi, then marry her. Fulfill the apprentice's wish. Anyway, Xiaoqi has so many beast girls. One more white-haired one won't make much. And one less white-haired one won't make much either. 10 seconds later, Huangfu Xiangling lowered her head shyly. Husband Xiao Yi, I have been corrupted by you. You must marry me, otherwise I will not be able to face people in the future. That was my first kiss. Master said that kissing will lead to pregnancy. I'm going to have your baby. Ziran was surprised. Did I say that? Xiao Yi savored the remaining sweetness in his mouth. He had just sensed a trace of the breath of the rules of time on the white-haired person. The rules of time. Time goes backwards. Injuries disappear. And the body is intact. His eyes lit up and he said, White hair. Maybe I know why you came back to life. Biema and Ziran were curious. Xiao Yi's eyes shone with wisdom. The time on you has gone backwards. From the moment you died, Your time went back to before you were injured. It seems that someone used the time magic to save you just now. Ziran and Biama were stunned. The two looked around but did not find any power with the attribute of time. But Xianling's memory is still preserved. Ziran asked puzzled Lai. Xiaoyi's eyes flashed. Perhaps. This is a master who is more powerful than we imagined. And his control over time has reached a meticulous level. The Queen of Space ancestor fell from the sky and landed next to Biama. Reach out and take a look. This is my sister's scent. Did your sister come here just now? Hiss. Sister's realm has reached a point where I can only look up to her. As the original Queen of Space, she has reached the third stage of the great perfection of the Imperial realm. She was watching from high in the sky just now, but she did not notice the arrival of the Time Queen at all, nor did she find any signs of the Time Queen taking any action. It is conceivable what level of realm the Time Queen has reached. Xiaoyi and his companions did not notice that the Queen of Space ancestor was standing next to them. The Queen of Space ancestors looked at Xiaoyi holding the white-haired girl and couldn't help but frown. It is destined that you and I are either mortal enemies or a perfect match. But you are too heartless. There are already so many beast girls, and now there is one more. She is very confident in her own conditions. But when he saw that Xiaoyu had taken in another beast girl, he felt inexplicably annoyed. At this moment, she was suddenly startled. Xiaoyu glanced in her direction. That's impossible. He can see me? Xiaoyu felt there was someone next to him, but he looked over and saw nothing. The Space Ancestor Queen was secretly surprised. Is this the perception of the human emperor? Or the perception of the general trend of the universe? The small minion in the Supreme Realm can actually sense her existence. It is no exaggeration to say that even if she took off all her clothes in front of an ordinary emperor, the emperor would not be able to discover her. But Xiaoyi almost discovered her. The human emperor should not be underestimated. The first queen put away her contempt and treated Xiaoyi on the same level as herself. Xiaoyi touched Biyama's head and said with a smile, "When the Z family incident is over, I will marry you as my 10th wife. From now on, you just need to hide behind the Z family camp and wait for me." Huangfo Xiangling was very excited and smacked her lips. Okay. Xiaoyi used the Palace of Time and Space to lock Biamao, and gave Biamao the authority to enter and exit the Palace of Time and Space freely. Once Biamao's life was in danger, the Palace of Time and Space would take her into the inner world on time, putting Biama down. Xiaoyi and Ziran looked towards the battlefield. At this moment, Chief Yaoing and 15 quasi-emperor level ferocious beast elders felt like retreating and had no interest in continuing the battle. They planned to return to the Yaoing Emperor clan's territory and close off from the world. But the platinum gold gluttonous beasts transformed by the Zidao couple and the 18 quasi-emperor beasts of the Z family surrounded them. There was no intention of letting the Yaoing imperial family go. Platinum Taodai, Yaoing Dingtian. You didn't expect that you wanted to destroy my Purple Saint clan, but in the end you destroyed your own family. Now, only 1/10 of the Yaoing imperial clan's combat power remains, and the foundation is completely destroyed. The rest are just small shrimps that can't make any waves. Are you happy with this result? The fiery red fire lizard roared. Z Dao, it's not your Z family that defeated my Yaoing imperial clan. Why are you so cocky? The foundation of my Yaoing imperial clan has been completely destroyed, but our top fighting force is still there. You guys can't take us down. Be smart and let us go. Otherwise, we will both suffer losses and other saints will definitely take advantage of the situation and move in. It glanced at the giant star beast in the sky with some fear in its eyes. He looked at Xiaoyi in the distance with a palpitating look. Chapter 552, The First Queen, it's my turn to take action. He also has the winning shot. But until that point, he will not completely offend Xiaoyi's side. As the overlord of Blue Star, Yaoing Dingtian is not afraid of the Z family, but Xiaoyi's side. This guy, who appeared out of nowhere and possessed a quasi-emperor with incredible combat power, as well as Xiaoyi, a powerful emperor. He really couldn't understand why there was such a powerful camp in the world. The platinum gluttonous beast sneered. Yaoing Dingtian, you think too much. From the moment your Yaoing imperial clan launched a clan war against the Purple Saint clan, our two clans were bound to become completely hostile. It's either you die or I live. The giant fiery red lizard dragon looked disdainful and ignored him, looking at his own side, which consisted of 15 quasi-emperor level ferocious beasts. He was not afraid of the Z family's holy clan at all. Roar. If the Z family wants to kill me, then kill me. I'm here to help. A giant whale shark with a body of aqua blue appeared in the sky, exuding majestic power and emitting an old and ancient voice. The Yaoing imperial family was overjoyed. Ancestor, you are finally here. Meet the ancestor. Ancestor, we only have our quasi-emperor elders and clan leaders left. All other imperial clan members have been slaughtered. Let's fight them. The ancestor of the Yaoing imperial clan is a powerful person at the peak of the quasi-emperor realm. Now he has revived, woken up from his slumber, and joined the battlefield. The whale shark beast ancestor looked at the remains of the Yaoing emperor's clan members on the ground. His eyes were about to burst. His eyes turned red, and he said angrily, "What do you guys do for a living? We fought against a small tribe of saints, but we couldn't even get through their city gates. Instead, we sent ourselves to hell. Waste. All waste." The expression of Platinum Tout I became solemn, and he said in a voice transmission, "Senior little maid, can you restrain to peak quasi-emperor realm? In the current situation, we can only wait until we kill the other quasi-emperor realm beasts of the Yaoing emperor clan before we fully support you." The starry sky beast roared. "They are just two pieces of trash. I can kill them with one beast. That old immortal, Chief Yaoing, the little whale shark, and the little lizard. Attack them together. I hope you have some fighting power and can play with this maid." The 18 quasi-emperor beasts of the Z family were stunned. This senior is so arrogant and boastful. He even threatened to kill the other person in a one-on-two situation. The whale shark beast ancestor laughed in anger. The newly promoted peak quasi-emperor? Just a junior. Sometimes, being young and impetuous can bring you consequences you cannot bear. Xiao Dingtian, leave this junior to me, and you just need to do your best to kill the head of the Z family. Once the head of the Z family dies, the rest of the Z family won't be able to cause any trouble. The fire-type giant lizard dragon shook his head, his eyes fearful, and said, "Ancestor, you are confused. We should return to our clan's land and live in seclusion." The whale shark giant ancestor, he was angry. "Yaoing Dingtian, you have been the clan leader for too long and you are becoming more and more timid. With this kind of courage, I am considering whether to change the clan leader when I return." Giant lizard dragon, ancestor, this matter concerns the survival of our clan. You are old and useless. Just obey my orders. After saying this, he ignored the whale shark ancestor's blowing nose and glaring, and looked directly at Xiao Yi in the distance, and said with fear in his eyes, "Xiao Yi, I know you are listening. Let me make a deal with you. If you let my clan leave immediately, my clan will never have any disputes with the Purple Saint clan again, and we will not cause any trouble for you. How about that?" But he clearly remembered that the other party still had an emperor who could jump out at any time. What is the emperor realm? Killing a quasi-emperor realm warrior is as easy as killing a dog or a chicken. This is Blue Star's ultimate combat power. The Blue Star gods he knew were at this level, although he didn't know who was stronger. The god behind the Yaoing imperial family or the emperor behind Xiao Yi. But once the emperor becomes angry, his Yaoing imperial clan cannot afford the price and consequences. Everyone's eyes were on Xiao Yi. Now the situation on the scene was under Xiao Yi's control. If it were a normal supreme realm, facing the gaze of more than 30 quasi-emperor realm beasts, he would have been sweating profusely and his legs would have been trembling. But Xiao Yi is not an ordinary person. His deep eyes were calm and a sneer appeared at the corner of his mouth. He said, "Discuss? With your Yaoing imperial clan. Are you qualified to discuss this with me? What a joke. A family that is doomed to be destroyed still considers itself an imperial family?" His voice was calm, but it echoed throughout the venue. All the Saint realms present in the Z family were shocked. "Young master is awesome. You said it very well. Young master is mighty. And you are right. A family that is about to be destroyed and has one dead person has no right to negotiate terms. The imperial family? That's just a castle in the air." They felt infinite awe for Xiao Yu in their hearts. On the side of the Yaoing emperor's clan, the 15 ferocious beasts jumped up and down in anger, puffing their beards and glaring when they heard this. "This little bastard. Isn't he afraid of hurting his back when he brags? Clan leader, our ancestor has arrived. We can just push him over. Yeah, I'm going to use this little bastard's soul to light a sky lantern," the fiery red lizard dragon said with a dark face. "Be patient, Xiao Yi. There is no irreconcilable hatred between you and my clan. Why do you have to keep pressing us and fight to the death?" The corner of Platinum Tout Eye's mouth twitched. He was the patriarch of the Z family's holy clan, but Yaoing Dingtian ignored him and went to discuss things with his son-in-law. My goodness. In Yaoing Dingtian's heart, his Z family holy clan is not as good as Xiao Yi? Xiao Yi sneered. "Little maid, just go ahead and kill these ferocious beasts. Don't leave anyone alive. After killing these rubbish, immediately head to the Yaoing Emperor clan's territory and bomb the place indiscriminately. Today, the Yaoing Emperor clan must be destroyed." The white-haired girl with twin ponytails jumped out and stood on a big rock. She pointed at the giant lizard dragon with one hand on her waist and said with contempt, "You little lizard, you are such a coward. Are you still a member of the Yaoing Imperial Clan? I think you should change your name as soon as possible and call yourself the Yaoing Sun Clan. You dare to attack me? My husband will kill you chickens and dogs at the command of a single blow." Ziren looked at the boastful disciple speechless. Lie. I just died and I still haven't learned my lesson. This tendency to love to take the lead cannot be changed. In the sky, the terrifying and fierce momentum of the star beast erupted, and the heaven and earth trembled. Eeyore of the peak of the mythical quasi-emperor realm was fully released. "You bastard! Give me your life!" She rushed towards the giant lizard dragon in an instant. With a loud bang, like a planet collision, the star that is the incarnation of the star beast hits the fire lizard dragon. The fire lizard dragon was directly knocked into the earth's crust. A protective shield appeared on its body, and a slight crack appeared on the protective shield. "It's not dead." It jumped onto the ground with red eyes and laughed crazily. "You are the one seeking death, forcing me to make a decisive move. Xiaoyi, let me let you taste the pain of losing your loved ones." It raised its front legs, and two pale but confused old men and women appeared above it. Xiaoyi was startled and his pupils shrank suddenly. These two old people looked so much like Yun Bing and Yun Shi. They must be his father-in-law and mother-in-law. The Aoshi Queen, the first ancestor of space, was delighted. She finally had the chance to take action. Chapter 553 Xiaoyi, I will exchange the hostages. The fiery red lizard dragon laughed wildly. "Xiaoyi, according to our tribe's investigation, you are a person who values friendship and loyalty. With this kind of character, you are worthy of praise and admiration in the friendly camp, but in a life and death battle, this becomes your weakness. I advise you to withdraw immediately. Otherwise, I can crush these two old men to death with my backhand." He was betting that Xiaoyi would agree. The starry sky beast stopped its attack. With a battle of her level, a little bit of the aftermath of the battle was enough to kill the two weak old men, who were only at the great venerable level. The two old men looked confused. "Were we not imprisoned? Why are we here? Who is that young man? We don't have this relative, do we?" The two have lost their past memories. Not to mention, they have never met Xiaoyi. Swish! A golden light gate appeared, and Yun Shi and Yun Bing walked out, looking eagerly, their deep longing reflected in their expressions. "Mom and Dad, we are here. Dad and Mom, you have suffered." They both screamed in pain. Xiaoyi patted the two men on the shoulders and said, "It's okay. The Yaoing Imperial Clan is already a loser. As long as we don't push them too hard, they won't cut off their own retreat." He used his divine consciousness to make his voice resound throughout the venue, saying, "Yaoing Dingqian, hand over those two old men, and I'll let you go. How about that?" Platinum Tout I was anxious. If he let them go now, it would be difficult to kill them later. All the top combat forces of the Yaoing Imperial family are still there, and they will surely make a comeback in the future. By then, it will surely become a huge disaster. The one controlling the body at this time was Gu King Cheng from the future. Her voice came from the Palace of Time and Space. "Xiaoyi, in 10 minutes in the outside world, 2 days will have passed in the Palace of Time and Space. I have almost recovered and can use my innate skills to temporarily improve my realm again. You can argue with Yaoing Dingqian for a while. Wait for me to recover. I have completed the first stage of the Emperor realm. I am 100 sure that I can rescue them intact from the quasi-Emperor realm peak beast." Xiaoyi nodded. In the distance, the giant fiery red lizard dragon said frantically, "I have changed my mind. For 10,000 years, we will return to our tribe and hide away from the world. You cannot come to seek revenge. After 10,000 years, I will release these two old men. Xiaoyi, you have no choice. If you don't agree, I will strangle them to death now." After arriving at the clan's land, they were blessed by the 5 elements gods. Even if Xiaoyi had an emperor behind him, it would be useless when he came to the Yaoing clan's land. The emperor behind Xiaoyi was obviously an idiot and cannot fight continuously. Otherwise he would have come out and destroyed the Yaoing imperial family long ago. But the 5 elements gods behind their Yaoing imperial clan are old gods that have survived for hundreds of thousands of years. They are old emperors. It's not something that the second-rate emperor can compare to. 10,000 years? Yun Bing and Yun Shi were extremely angry. 10,000 years have passed, and our parents would have died long ago. Does he still need to release it? Even if he has a treasure to prolong his life, he will be exhausted after 10,000 years. He won't live long if he returns to us. Xiaoyi pinched their cheeks and said slowly, "Sister Yun Bing, Sister Yun Shi, don't be anxious. I have a plan. After he finished speaking, he said to the fiery red lizard dragon, Patriarch Yaoing, I have a plan that might interest you. The fiery red lizard dragon warned, don't play tricks, or these two old men will surely die. Xiao Yi said seriously, you release those two old men, and I will be the hostage. I will go back to the Yaoing Imperial clan with you and stay with you for 10,000 years. How? The fiery red lizard dragon was startled, then overjoyed and laughed out loud. Xiao Yi, you are indeed a good man who values love and friendship. I admire you for not changing your original intention at this time. Okay. I promise you, if you come to me alone, I will release these two old men. I am the patriarch of the Yaoing Emperor clan, so I still have some credibility. In his eyes, Xiao Yi himself was just an ant of low realm, only in the supreme realm. If he could hold Xiao Yi hostage, the quasi-emperor level star beast and the emperor level Qilin behind Xiao Yi would definitely not act rashly. With Xiao Yi placed under house arrest in his clan's land, and with the protection of the five elements gods, his Yaoing Imperial clan will be able to live peacefully for the next 10,000 years. Xiao Yi is a person who values friendship and loyalty. If the Yaoing Imperial clan could recruit him, they could use all kinds of temptations to tie Xiao Yi to the Yaoing Imperial clan. Then his Yaoing Imperial family will definitely become the overlord of Blue Star in the future. Xiao Yi nodded, then set off, walking towards the enemy camp step by step. Ziran, Bi An Mao, Yun Shi Yun Bing. The four girls immediately grabbed Xiao Yi and hugged him tightly. No, you can't go. What will we do if you leave? Yes, husband, you haven't married me yet. Xiao Yi, I won't let you go. Even if my parents can't save you, you can't go. That's right. Dad and Mom will understand us. The four girls spoke firmly and were determined not to let him leave. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. Yun Bing and Yun Shi, you are really filial sons. If I don't go over to exchange the hostages, my father-in-law and mother-in-law will die. Can you really bear this result? Yun Shi Yun Bing showed grief on his face and said in a trembling voice, we've already lost our parents once. We can't lose you again. Yes, my parents are important. But it is a fact that they are in deep crisis. We cannot change that. But as our husband, you are still safe now. We cannot watch you fall into crisis. Your safety is in our control, so you can't go. Xiao Yi was moved and said softly, don't worry, I won't die. He whispered pridefully, I have the Palace of Time and Space to protect my master. I can return to the Palace of Time and Space at any time and break free from Yaoing Dingtian's house arrest at any time. So, I won't be in any danger. Do you know? He raised his hands and rubbed the two women's heads, and then kissed them on the cheek. Gu Qingcheng's voice transmission from the future entered the minds of the four girls, saying, let my husband go. He has the imperial defense and anti-injury restrictions I refined. Even if Patriarch Yaoing wants to attack Xiao Yi, my husband will not be in danger. The golden protective shield that appeared on the black gold glut not long ago is the imperial defense restriction I refined. I have placed more than 10 of these defensive restrictions on my husband, including his hands, legs, shoulders, head, buttocks, and genitals. There are no blind spots on his body, and there are restrictions everywhere. Xiao Yi was shocked. How come he didn't know he had this? When did Gu Qingcheng arrange it? Even on the vitals. Could it be when the two of them were doing exercise? When Ziran Ba, Ma Yun Shi Yun Bing heard this, he immediately changed his mind. Yun Shi and Yun Bing kicked Xiao Yi on the butt, and with a kicked him towards the Yaoing Imperial clan camp, flying tens of thousands meters. Xiao Yi, have a safe journey. They shouted. Xiao Yi, who had lost his balance, felt his face hurt by the cold wind. He frowned and thought to himself. His expression changed too quickly. After I get back, I will definitely punish you severely and press you down under my body and ravage you. Chapter 550. For the first queen is secretly delighted. The space ancestor queen, wearing an ancient robe with mysterious golden runes, floated behind Xiao Yi. The look she gave Xiao Yi became more and more admiring. The human emperor, who values friendship and loyalty, risked his life just to save Beast Girl's parents. In the age of Beast Girls where human feelings are weak, this kind of friendship and character is rare and precious. Only with such a character would he be chosen by the will of heaven and earth to be the emperor of man. Seeing Xiao Yi's face darken and the Beast Girls behind him changed their minds, a smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. It seems that being the wife of the human emperor is not a bad thing. Xiao Yi's face was dark. He was connected to the Palace of Time and Space with his mind and could escape at any time. He drew a beautiful parabola in the sky and was about to fall into the enemy camp. The Platinum Taodai and the Quasi-Emperor realm from the Z family immediately took action to stop it. But gentle first embraced Xiao Yi, pulling him back. Bie Jintaoji Ui said anxiously, son-in-law, do you really want to be imprisoned by Yaoing Sang Jiyoyu for 10,000 years? Come back quickly. The Yaoing Sang dog clan has long lost their humanity. After you are captured, and may use the Taoist Gu to confuse your mind and make you a running dog of the Yaoing Sang dog clan. 10,000 years later, when you come out, you won't be the real you anymore. The 15 quasi-emperor beasts of the Z family also said anxiously, that's right, young master, we will not watch you being captured by Yaoing Sang dog. We killed more than 100 direct descendants of Yaoing Dingqian, including his sons, grandsons, and great-grandsons. If you are captured, who knows what methods they will use to torture you? The Queen of Space ancestor frowned, a little annoyed. The human emperor is about to fall into danger, and she will be able to take action quickly to save the human emperor from distress and win the human emperor's trust. As long as you gain the trust of the human emperor, it will be much easier to contact him in the future, and becoming his wife will be twice the result with half the effort. And then you guys jumped out to stop it. Xiao Yi said helplessly, father-in-law and mother-in-law, please stop and let me exchange the hostages. The people captured by Yaoing Dingqian are my father-in-law and mother-in-law. I must rescue them. If Yaoing Dingqian captured you, I would do the same. I believe in Yaoing Dingqian's character and he won't do anything to me. The fiery red lizard dragon laughed heartily. Brother Xiao Yi, you are right. I, Yaoing Dingqian, have a good character and I don't bother to use those low-level methods. Zeta, oh, I really envy you for having such a good son-in-law. It's a pity that all my descendants are dead. Otherwise I would have given my daughter and granddaughter to Brother Xiao. The platinum glutton glared at the fiery red lizard dragon and said in a cold voice, you have the nerve to say that you have good character, but you should be careful not to bite your tongue if you lie with your eyes open. Then, he said to Xiao Yi, son-in-law, you risked your life to save Beast Mother's parents, so I won't stop you. But I have a condition. You can change the hostages in 3 minutes. During these 3 minutes, you and Ziran go back to the clan and leave a descendant for me. Zidao. How do you do that? Xiao Yi, the Queen of Space ancestor? Ziran's pretty face turned red, and she said unhappily, Dad, please believe Xiao Yi. He will be fine. You think he's like you? It's only 3 minutes. But it's not even enough for others to take an hour or 2 hours. Platinum Tao Ai. He said somewhat awkwardly, 2 hours? So long? Sorry, I am narrow-minded. Son-in-law, how about you exchange hostages with Yaoing Sang Jiyoyu in 2 hours? In these 2 hours, you and Ziran go back to the clan and leave us a descendant? Otherwise, after 10,000 years, Ziran will be old and the food will be cold, and it will be difficult to leave offspring. A group of quasi-emperor beasts of the Z family looked at the platinum Tao Ai in surprise, with strange expressions on their faces. No wonder the clan leader and his wife have never given birth to any new children, only a daughter. Saints, Yuran. It turns out that there was something wrong with the patriarch. 3 minutes? A normal person would have at least 10 minutes. Platinum Tao Ai was even more embarrassed. In fact, he didn't even have 3 minutes. To say 3 minutes was an exaggeration, but this matter concerns the continuation of the Purple Family Saint clan. So he had to say, son-in-law, what do you think? Everyone's eyes turned to the extraordinary young man who had stopped in the sky. The giant red lizard dragons transformed by Yaoing Dingqian and his wife were watching there, not in a hurry. The Queen of Space ancestor looked at Xiao Yi with her proud eyes, her eyes full of curiosity. Human Emperor, my future husband, would you like to have a reproductive activity with the daughter of the Z family before exchanging hostages? Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Xiao Yi said expressionlessly, father-in-law, I'll help you. Yaoing Dingqian, please wait for me for 2 hours. After 2 hours, I will exchange hostages with you. The fiery red lizard dragon nodded. No problem. Don't even mention 2 hours. I can wait for 2 days. Don't worry, if you join my clan, I won't treat you unfairly. He would do his best to befriend men who is loyal and righteous and has an imperial protector, although his offspring is dead. For the future of the Yaoing imperial family, he must endure humiliation and endure hardships. This is the best choice, but if there is a better choice, he will be the first to kill Xiao Yi to avenge his dead children. Xiao Yi flew towards Ziran and landed next to Ziran, whose face was flushed. The pure goddess Oran rolled her eyes. Xiao Yi, you really want to do those things with me at this time? The last time was just a few days ago. We didn't take any safety measures. If we could have, we would have done it a long time ago. If you want to leave offspring for the family, this kind of thing cannot be accomplished in a short period of time. Xiaoyi stretched out his hand and pinched her innocent face, and said with a smile, "Your father has said something big. I have to give him some face. Otherwise he would have gone out for nothing." Ziren made a sound of poo, with a hint of excitement in the depths of her beautiful eyes. On the surface, she refused and said, "No." Xiaoyi directly pulled her into the Golden Light Gate. The Queen of Space Ancestors was blocked outside by the Golden Light Gate, and her proud and pretty face turned dark. She also wanted to see the human emperor and learn some knowledge. "But now I can't learn anything." Everyone at the scene looked at each other in bewilderment. Time passed quickly and 2 hours went by in a flash. 10 days have passed in the Palace of Time and Space, and future Gu King Cheng has already recovered. Xiaoyi and Ziran walked out through the Golden Light Gate. Xiaoyi looked a little tired, while Ziran had a rosy complexion and looked radiant. When Platinum Dao saw it, he was immediately happy. "Okay, son-in-law. Do whatever you want to do. We won't stop you anymore. Good boy." It really took 2 hours. I'm so envious. Xiaoyi flew towards Yaoing Dingtian again. The Queen of Space followed behind, sizing him up carefully with a hint of delight in her eyes. "Finally, it's my turn to take action." Seeing this, the two old men said, "Young man, we are both old and feeble. You don't have to come and save us. You are still young and have a long way to go." Xiaoyi flew directly above the fiery red lizard and said, "Chief Yaoing, release them." Chapter 555, The First Queen. It's time for me to take the stage. Bang bang bang. The giant fiery red lizard dragon was extremely excited. It raised its hand and placed more than 100 quasi-emperor level restraining restrictions on Xiaoyi. Xiaoyi felt unable to move, as if every cell in his body was restrained. When the Queen of Space Ancestors saw this, a look of joy appeared on her pretty face. "Okay. Put down a few more bands. The more the human emperor is imprisoned, the more she will gain his favor and trust when she rescues him later." Xiaoyi said expressionlessly, "Patriarch Yaoing, you should let him go." The giant red lizard dragon used its strength to gently push the two old men out, causing them to fall into the Z family camp. "Since I promised you, I won't regret it. I am the patriarch of the imperial clan, so I still have some credibility. Zeta, check if those two old men are safe. I'm going to take your good son-in-law back with me." Platinum Dao used his divine sense to investigate and confirmed that the two old men were not trapped by Yaoing Dingtian. "Xiaoyi, my in-laws are fine. But do we really have to wait 10,000 years before we can meet again?" He looked conflicted. A smile appeared on Xiaoyi's face and he said, "Of course, as long as my father-in-law and mother-in-law don't find a new man for Sister Ziran, I will still be Sister Ziran's husband after 10,000 years. Ziran, can you wait for me for 10,000 years? Platinum Dao was helpless. Alas, 10,000 years. It's too long. Ziran rolled her eyes. "Xiaoyi wanted to act out the whole thing? Or do you really want me to wait for 10,000 years? I've only been with you for a month. You haven't even pampered me many times. King Cheng will rescue you right away. I don't want to wait for 10,000 years. She pretended to look unhappy and snorted. "Xiaoyi, just go ahead. 10,000 years from now, I will be an old lady. Be careful that I may cheat on you during this period of time. And your other 9 beast girls, and the unmarried white-haired one, be careful, they might cheat on you. After 10,000 years, you will come back and become a father. Just go ahead." "Xiaoyi, this should be something said in anger, right? Sister Ziran wouldn't really want to steal someone, right? Well, Xiaoyi, don't worry. There are many beautiful women in the world. As long as you need them, I can find you 1,000 or 10,000 of them, so that you can enjoy music every night. I promise you won't be short of women." The fiery red lizard dragon laughed. The gloomy flashed in the eyes of the giant whale shark next to him. After returning, he would definitely attack Xiaoyi. This man joined forces with the Z family to wipe out 99 of the Yaoing imperial clan. He went back and simply turned Xiaoyi into a puppet, making him a mindless living dead. 15 quasi-emperor level ferocious beast showed evil spirit in their hearts. "You still want to go back alive? Dream on. The hatred of genocide is irreconcilable. When I go back, I will pull out your soul and burn it as a sky lantern." The flesh and blood were cut off piece by piece and tortured. "Chief, it's time for us to leave. Grandfather, let's go back and immediately close the mountain to avoid the world. Strive to produce more offspring and restore the Yaoing family to its dominant position." 15 quasi-emperor beasts suggested. The whale shark nodded. "Yaoing Dingtian, let's go." The giant fiery red lizard dragon directly took Xiaoyu into the small world of the Dark Ring. He waved his hand and said, "Hua people, close the mountain." At this time, a golden light gate emerged. And the future Gu Qingcheng controlled his body and walked out of it, his aura filled with imperial power. With a bang, she descended directly into Yao Ying's camp. Using the Heaven and Earth prison, he directly trapped the 17 quasi-emperor beasts in Yao Ying's camp. 3 seconds. She only had 3 seconds. The face of the fiery red lizard dragon suddenly changed. You have entered the weak period, right? The higher the level of the fate template, the longer the weak period will last. The Queen of Hang House, who exuded imperial majesty, gave him a strong sense of oppression, making it hard for him to breathe. The other 16 quasi-emperor beasts were shocked. Emperor Realm. The Emperor Realm again. What do you want to do? We have no grudge against you. Why are you trapping us? Future Gu Qingcheng looked indifferent. Shut up. She waved her hand, and a terrifying energy wave so powerful that it made everyone's heart palpitate came out and slashed at the 16 quasi-emperor beasts around her. There was a loud bang. The perfect power of the first stage of the Emperor Realm burst out directly. The 16 quasi-emperor beasts were instantly turned into dust, and their souls were shattered. In less than a second, everything was annihilated and dead. The giant fiery red lizard dragon's eyes were about to burst. Dead, all dead. I am the only fighting force left in the Yaoying imperial clan. Xiaoyi, you are really amazing. You have never thought of letting us go, right? If I die, I will take you with me to be buried with me. In the future, Gu Qingcheng didn't want to talk nonsense. She only had 2 seconds left. After 2 seconds, she would enter a weak period. Within these 2 seconds, she must rescue Xiaoyi. The origin of destiny rules was mobilized by her, and the origin of rules emerged in the endless void, flashing a mysterious light, shining brightly with the future Gu Qingcheng. The perfect imperial level terrestrial level rule slash came from the hand of the future empress and slashed towards the fiery red giant lizard dragon. There was a loud noise. The whole world was shocked. The fiery red lizard dragon's expression suddenly changed. He felt a life and death crisis. But when the rule slash hit him, a golden protective shield appeared on his body, easily obliterating the slash. The golden protective shield shone brightly without a single crack appearing. I'm not dead? I'm not dead. The fiery red lizard dragon laughed wildly. Future Gu Qingcheng's face darkened, and within 1 second, he launched more than 10 consecutive slashes of perfect imperial rules. These rule strikes can easily destroy a small world, but when it hit the gold and offense shield of the giant fiery red lizard dragon, it was like mud falling into the sea, without splashing a single drop of water. In the future, Gu Qingcheng's face turned extremely bad, and her beautiful eyes were uncertain. She only had the last second left. If she failed to rescue Xiaoyi within this second, Xiaoyi would be taken away and imprisoned for 10,000 years. Ziren Yunshi Yun Bingbie Shmo's face suddenly changed and turned pale. Gu Qingcheng, who was at the imperial level, couldn't even break Yaoying Dingtian's defense. How is that possible? Could it be that Xiaoyi is really going to be captured and won't be able to come out until 10,000 years later? Do they want to remain widows for 10,000 years? Thinking of this, the 4 girls' faces turned pale and bloodless. Yun Bing's legs softened and he collapsed to the ground. His eyes became unfocused and he muttered abstinently, Xiaoyi, I regret it. I don't want you to save my parents. I can't live without you. Xiaoyi, you must be well. The fiery red giant lizard dragon laughed wildly, looking at the future Gu Qingcheng with disdain, and said, during these 10,000 years, Xiaoyi will belong to me. Don't waste your energy. This is a defensive barrier set by the ancient gods of our tribe. You can't break it. In the future, Gu Qingcheng was in a very bad mood. She had already guessed that this golden protective shield was the 2nd or even 3rd stage of the Emperor Realm. No matter how she bombarded it, she could not break it. A look of joy appeared on the face of the Space Ancestor Queen. Good, that's great. I, the Queen of the Galaxy, can finally make my official appearance and save the human emperor. If a beautiful woman saves a hero, he should be willing to marry her. Chapter 556. Both the queens of Hang House died. At this time, Gu Qingcheng saw the disadvantages of old Gu in the outside world in her sea of consciousness, and looked very anxious. Old Gu only has 1 second left. In 1 second he will fall into a weak state and become an ant that can be slaughtered at will. My husband was captured and taken into the enemy's small world. It's too late to save it. Old Gu, you traveled back from the future. There must be a way, right? You don't have to worry about my body. I can accept any consequences. Lao Gu, I beg you, you must rescue my husband. Her voice was filled with tears and her soul and body were trembling. For the first time, The Queen of Hanghouse felt that things were so difficult. She could only watch her beloved one being taken away. Feeling powerless, Lagu's voice sounded immediately. I can indeed use super limited magical powers to make the opponent annihilate in an instant. But after using this magical power, your body will collapse in an instant, and it will be difficult to repair and reshape it in the future. Even our soul bodies will be implicated and rejected by the origin of rules. At the very least, one will fall into eternal slumber. At the worst, one's soul will be shattered and annihilated, with no chance of reincarnation or resurrection. Hearing such serious and irreversible consequences, Gu Qingcheng did not even think about it and replied firmly, as long as my husband is safe, I am willing to die a miserable death. Old Gu, no matter what the cost, you must rescue your husband. A sad smile appeared on her stunningly beautiful face. I've just been with my husband for less than a week, and now I'm going to be separated from him forever. There was a hint of bitterness in the corner of her mouth. Lao Gu said in a heavy voice, I understand. Outside world, Emperor realm, so what? What can you do to me? I'm standing here and letting you hit me. Do you think you can hurt me at all? The big fiery red lizard saw that the golden protective shield on its body was as solid as a rock and remained motionless despite the bombardment of the violent rainstorm, and it immediately began to sneer crazily. The pair of fiery red eyes were filled with ridicule and disdain. Before, he regarded the Emperor realm as a high and untouchable taboo. Now, he has changed his mind. Even in the Emperor realm, one is not invincible and can be killed. The fiery red lizard continued to sneer. A half-baked emperor who was temporarily promoted wants to destroy my Yaoing Emperor family? Wishful thinking. Future Gu Qingcheng showed determination on her face. Don't be too sure, so you won't be so embarrassed when you die. Yaoing Dingtian, it is your honor to die in my hands. A supreme aura suddenly burst out from her. In an instant, the stars in the sky sparkled, and all the stars seemed to resonate and released dazzling light. It is daytime now, but the stars in the sky are brighter and more dazzling than the sun. On the blue star, all attributes and all types of rule origins bowed down, as if they were respectfully paying homage to Gu Qingcheng, the future of the rule world. The face of the Queen of Space Answers suddenly changed. She felt that her body was imprisoned, her mind was detained, and she could not mobilize the origin of space at all. Not only her, but all the lives at the scene were imprisoned, and all the lives on the blue planet were unable to move. At this moment, all the gods could not move at all. The supreme law of the universe suddenly cast a shadow on Gu Qingcheng in the future. Gu Qingcheng walked to the big fiery red lizard slowly. The big fiery red lizard was restrained and the smile on its face froze. But he was not worried, because he still had the golden protective shield given by the five elements gods. In his eyes, the five elements gods are the strongest among all the gods. The Yaoing Imperial clan is the overlord of Blue Star, and those who have been silently supporting the Imperial clan from behind must also be the strongest among all the gods. But when a shattering sound was heard, Yaoing Dingtian's confidence was shattered in an instant. I saw that in the future. Gu Qingcheng's long black hair fluttered in the wind. Her eyes were overwhelming, like a real empress. When her proud and graceful body walked towards the golden protective shield, the golden protective shield shattered and turned into stars and dissipated. When the giant fiery red lizard dragon saw the Queen of Hanghouse right in front of him, he felt like he was looking up at the vast starry sky and peering into the highest point of the universe, as if it couldn't be looked at directly. His giant dragon body turned into starlight in an instant and disappeared into the air from toes to head. How is that possible? I couldn't even muster the energy to resist. No, I don't want to die. I still want to revive the Yaoing Imperial clan. How can I die when I have such a deep blood feud? There was extreme fear in those fiery red eyes. Those words were filled with infinite reluctance. But what was the use? He stared with his eyes wide open, but was unable to stop the destruction of the divine body. Half a second later, the body of the fiery red lizard dragon was completely destroyed, leaving only its head. The pair of eyes on the head stared fiercely, and after half a second, they turned into starlight and dissipated into the air. In the future, Gu Qingcheng's body also turned into starlight and disappeared into the air. It starts with a pair of long legs, followed by the torso, the arms, the neck, and finally the head. After losing a pair of legs, Gu Qingcheng in the future grabbed the black ring that was floating quietly in front of her with trembling hands. Her lower body was completely destroyed. She used her immense strength to search for Xiaoyi, who was in a coma, in the black ring and pulled him out. At this time, most of her body had disappeared, leaving only the part above her chest. In the last remaining time, she touched Xiaoyi's face with her delicate hand. Tenderness emerged in her bright eyes, and the reflection of her pupils was Xiaoyi's appearance. 2 lines of clear tears slid down the pretty face of Gu Qingcheng, the peerless Tianhua from the future. Husband, goodbye, she murmured in a low voice. Xiaoyi was unconscious. As if he had a nightmare, his brows were furrowed and a look of pain appeared on his face. When that jade hand stroked his face, he suddenly felt at ease. His brows gradually relaxed, and his face returned to calm. When he heard the soft whisper, Xiaoyi opened his eyes drowsily, looked at the scene in front of him dimly, and yawned. What happened? When he saw the surrounding situation clearly, his face suddenly changed and he said anxiously, Sister Qingcheng, what's wrong with your body? Sister Qingcheng, don't cry. He felt a heart-nicking pain and spoke in panic. At this time, the body of the future Gu Qingcheng disappeared, leaving only the part above the neck. Even the jade hand that touched Xiaoyi's cheek turned into starlight and dissipated into the air. In the future, Gu Qingcheng suddenly smiled, but her smile was very miserable and desolate. From now on, don't think about me, and don't think about Xiaogu, my husband. Live well. Xiaochuan that if he didn't pull Gu Qingcheng back now, they would be separated forever. He rushed forward, wanting to hug that extremely beautiful face with both hands, but when he pounced on it, the head had already turned into starlight and dissipated into the air. No, Xiaoyu roared. His mood was worse than ever, and his heart felt as if it was stabbed by needles. Chapter 557, The First Queen's Official Appearance. With the annihilation of Gu Qingcheng's body in the future, all life on Blue Star has returned to normal, and all the rules and origins have returned to their former state. Blue Star is still the same, but some people are gone. Platinum Taotai waved his hand and said, all the soldiers of the Z family, follow me to flatten the land of the Yaoing Emperor clan, leaving no one alive, and wiping out the roots. The ferocious beasts transformed by the Z family happily followed the Platinum Taotai and charged forward. But Ziran, Yun Bing and Yun Shi could not be happy at all. The 3 girls quickly came to Xiaoyi, who was kneeling on the ground in dejection. Seeing his painful expression, they said anxiously, Xiaoyi, where is Qingcheng? Where did she go? Xiaoyi spread out his palm, which contained 2 small spots of light that were collapsing. Looking closely, when the 2 light spots are magnified, they are both souls that look like Gu Qingcheng, but one has a mature charm, and the other has a rough charm. He said sadly, Sister Qingcheng, here. Not only has the soul body fallen into a deep sleep and is in the process of collapse, it is also being rejected by the rules of the Blue Star. I'm afraid it won't be long before you will die completely. Ziran, Yun Bing, and Yun Shi panicked and said in disbelief, how so? Wasn't Qingcheng fine just now? How come she's going to die in just a few seconds? A trace of bitterness appeared on Xiaoyi's lips, and he said, in order to save me, Sister Qingcheng probably used some secret method that is not tolerated by heaven and earth. Now not only is she about to die, but she is also rejected by heaven and earth, and rejected by the laws. But she obviously didn't have to come to save me, and she shouldn't have come to save me. With the time and space palace protecting me, Yaoing Dingtian can't do anything to me. I can return to the time and space palace at any time, and then teleport to the Z family through the Golden Light Gate and escape from Yaoing Dingtian's control. Ziran, Yun Bing and Yun Shi showed sadness on their faces. Qingcheng, she died just like that? It hasn't even been a week since Qingcheng married Xiaoyi. Qingcheng loved Xiaoyi so much that for him, she can face life and death and make sacrifices without hesitation? The 3 girls thought about it and wondered if they would do that. After a moment, the 3 women came to the answer in their hearts, yes. A look of struggle emerged on Xiaoyi's face. He anxiously took out all the soul treasures he possessed from the system space to reshape the soul-capturing treasure, the Enlightenment Tea. As he held the soul treasure and the body-reshaping treasure in his trembling hands and approached the 2 soul bodies, the speed at which the soul body collapsed increased more than 10 times. Xiaoyi was so scared that he quickly put away all his things, then put the 2 souls into the soul space of the soul-capturing bead. The soul space is isolated from the rules of the outside blue planet, and is the most suitable place to nurture the soul body. It is a reward given by the system and does not belong to the blue planet. The speed of the collapse of the souls of the 2 women, Gu Qingcheng and Gu Qingcheng, was slowed down to the minimum. But even with this speed of collapse, it won't be long before the 2 women's dormant souls will completely collapse and die. If total collapse is real death, then the current state of defeat and dormancy is false death. But suspended animation is also a form of death. There is only a thin line between fake death and real death. As close as a millimeter, Xiaoyi's face was as gloomy as water, and he said with extreme guilt, Sister Z, you're on. Sister Yunxi. Sister Yunbing. I'm sorry. I didn't protect Sister Qingcheng well. Ziran burst into tears. No, you haven't done anything wrong to us. But the one you should apologize to is Qingcheng. You owe her too much. And you can never repay her in your lifetime. Yunxi and Yunbing sobbed softly. Xiao Yi looked at the two souls in the soul capture orb with self-blame and guilt, and said sadly, Sister Qingcheng, I'm sorry. A proud and beautiful figure appeared behind everyone, and said with a complicated expression, don't shout. They can't hear you. Human Emperor, if you are a man, don't be tripped by difficulties. Overcome all difficulties and find a way to save them. Apologize when they are awake. Who? Xiao Yi and the three girls turned their heads. I saw a stunningly beautiful woman who was extremely beautiful. This person has great assets. A tall figure, and a beautiful and crystal clear face. Standing there, it seemed as if I was the center of this space, and everything else lost its color and became ordinary. It's you. Xiao Yi gently put the soul-capturing bead into his pocket and said very vigilantly, Ziran. Yunbing and Yunxi also took up fighting stances. A trace of bitterness appeared on the corner of the Space Ancestor Queen's mouth, and she said softly, You don't have to be hostile to. Please introduce yourself. I am the will of the origin of space rules. I was born hundreds of thousands of years ago. I carry the fate of the Queen and Honggaozen Star, Queen of the Milky Way space. And you, Xiao Yi, are the human emperor of Blue Star, carrying the destiny of the human emperor. We are friendly forces. I saw everything that happened to you, and I wanted to help at the last moment. But the cosmic supernatural power of the Queen of Hangzhou City has made me unable to move, and I am powerless even if I want to take action. Feel the sincere and heartfelt words of the first queen. Xiao Yi and the three women relaxed. Me, the human emperor of Blue Star. Xiao Yi pointed at himself in disbelief. The first queen nodded. Yes, you carry the same imperial destiny as me. You are the human emperor. The human emperor will one day lead Blue Planet to rise and join the ranks of the great races in the universe. And I, the Queen of the Milky Way, am also the leader of the rise of Blue Star. Ziran suddenly asked, First Queen, do you have any way to save Qingcheng? Why did Qingcheng become two souls? One soul is 100 years older, and the other soul is 100 years younger? A look of desire appeared in Xiao Yi's eyes. A gleam of light flashed in the proud eyes of the first queen. These two souls should be the same person. But the one who is 100 years older has traces of time flowing through his body. If I'm not mistaken, these are souls from two different time periods. One of them is from now, and the other is from 100 years later. Both souls can control their bodies and are rejected by their bodies at all. Xiao Yi and the three women were shocked. They also thought that Gu Qingcheng's soul was broken and split into two. But I didn't expect that both were complete. Just from different time periods. Yunxi suddenly realized. I was wondering why Qing changed so much during that time. She became so charming and mature, and she had endless ways to seduce Xiao Yi. Xiaobi turned into a seasoned love expert. It turns out that it was Qingcheng from 100 years ago who was causing trouble. That love veteran Qingcheng has returned from 100 years later. Xiao Yi's expression was complicated. He had felt before that sometimes Gu Qingcheng was full of resentment towards him, and sometimes she was full of resentment towards him. It was as if he had let Gu Qingcheng down. It turned out that it was Gu Qingcheng from 100 years later who returned to the present, and it was the old Gu Qingcheng who was controlling the body. Biamo rushed out from behind the crowd, held the first queen's hand with both hands, and said excitedly, Senior, when I was dying, were you the one who saved me? Thank you so much. Can you save Sister Qingcheng now? Chapter 558 The Future Empress is alive? Xiao Yi and the others looked over with passionate eyes. It was like a ray of light shining into the dark world. Looking at everyone's expectant eyes, the Space Ancestor Queen shook her head expressionlessly. No, I didn't save you. You should have noticed that the time traces left on this white-haired girl with twin ponytails were left by my sister, the Time Queen. Their situations are special. I can't save them. The Time Queen? This was the first time Xiao Yi heard this title. Is it another deity? The Queen of Space Ancestor nodded. Yes. The Queen of Time is the will of the origin of time, and the time god who controls the origin of the time rules of Blue Star. Everyone's pupils shrank. There were actually three gods watching the battle between the Z family and the Yaoing imperial family. The five elements gods, space gods, and time gods behind the Yaoing imperial clan. The Queen of Space Ancestor said, This fight between the hidden families is the biggest war in the history of the rule world. It is related to the change of the structure of the rule world. More than 80 of the gods who returned from the starry sky are paying attention to this place. This is also a beginning. The 5 elements gods covet the destiny at Redoubt rules and origin behind the Z family. And so do many other gods. If the 5 elements gods are not punished, I'm afraid that in the future, those weak gods, or the origins of rules that have not yet been given control, will be snatched away by the gods of the origin of rules in the imperial realm. Xiaoyi's face was gloomy. This was a battle between gods, but it resulted in the death of my lover. 5 elements god. He deserves to die. Senior First Queen. May ask where Senior Time Queen is? I want to go find her. Zeringyun Shi Yunbing's face still had sadness. And he also echoed, yes, the 5 elements gods deserve to die. Our top priority is to save King Cheng. Can you tell us where Senior Time Queen is? We want to save King Cheng. No matter which time period King Cheng is in, she must come back to life. The Space Ancestor Queen looked at the sky for a few times, but did not find the Time Empress. She said bitterly, her realm is much higher than mine, and I don't know where she is. The Time Queen is the earliest origin of the will of the rules born on Blue Star. Her realm is the strongest among the gods of Blue Star. Not only can I not find her, no one can find her either, unless she shows up herself. Xiaoyi and the other girls felt depressed. This kind of powerful god who comes and goes without a trace probably has a weird temper. Saving Biamal once might be a casual act, but it would be difficult to get her to do it a second time. The Space Ancestor Queen changed the subject, but don't be too discouraged. You are the human emperor of Blue Star. My sister has paid attention to you. If she knew what was going on here, she would most likely come to the rescue. Ziran, Yunbing, and Yunshi looked dazed. Have you ever paid attention to Xiaoyi? Even such a powerful being would pay attention to Xiaoyi? They didn't think that this powerful existence had set its eyes on Xiaoyi. That was impossible. No matter how good Xiaoyi is, he can improve the template and solve the template problems. But compared with the gods, they seem a bit ordinary. When the Queen of Space thought about the goals of herself and her sister, the Queen of Time, her pretty face inexplicably turned red. They all want to be Xiaoyi's wife. Become the wife of the universe's trend. As the saying goes, when one person succeeds, the whole family will benefit. From now on, I will follow Xiaoyi and use Xiaoyi's power to fly to a higher level. The purpose of her, the Queen of Space, getting close to Xiaoyi is to be with her sister, the Queen of Time, forever. Buzz buzz buzz. Xiaoyi suddenly felt the soul fluctuations in the soul-capturing beat space. Even if it was only a hint, he was always paying attention to this place and he discovered it. His eyes were red, and he said happily, the 2 King Cheng sisters have soul fluctuations. Ziran, Yunbing and Yunshi's 3 best friends looked delighted and hurried over. How is King Cheng? Is she awake? Not awake yet. Still asleep. His soul and body are still failing, Xiaoyi said with a dark face. Everyone carefully interpreted the soul fluctuations, wondering what it was expressing unconsciously. Perhaps it was an obsession, or the 2 women were having nightmares, which caused the 2 Gu King Cheng to have soul fluctuations. My husband, following you is so hard. Just from the information interpreted, one can feel that the words are full of sadness and desolation. The girl's eyes were like knives, staring at him fiercely. Xiaoyi's face turned awkward, and he said, there are still some soul fluctuations that haven't been interpreted yet. The crowd continued to interpret. In the future, I have been with my husband for nearly 100 years, but he has been indifferent to me and ignored me, leaving me alone in an empty room for 100 years. My husband will give me the cultivation resources I need and will not mistreat me materially. But is that what I need? I can get the resources myself. What I need is my husband's love. But, in the future, my husband has never loved me, and has never been sick of me. The only time was on our wedding day 100 years ago. Watching my husband and his beastly wives being affectionate, I felt like an outsider and had never enjoyed my husband's pampering. I am like a bystander who is in need of love, longing for my husband's love. My husband likes jade feet. Jade feet without nails. I trim my nails every day and take a bath to avoid foot odor. But my husband has never looked at my jade feet. My husband likes black silk stockings. He can tear the beautiful black silk stockings with a rip sound. I specially changed out of the slim-fitting ancient robe I like and put on the short skirt that my husband likes to see. But my husband said I was flirting, criticized me harshly, and treated me coldly. Every night I wash myself and lie in bed waiting for my husband to favor me. I send all kinds of seductive messages to him to come into my room, but he never comes. He favors other beast girls instead. My husband likes to eat braised mermaid tails, likes to wear monotonous colored clothes, Likes to hug the beast girl and kiss her in the morning. Likes. And more than 1,000 other preferences. I know it all. Better than any other beast girl. But my husband never paid any attention to me. He looked at my back many times and called Ziran's name. Ziran Yun Bingyun. She narrowed her beautiful eyes, revealing a very dangerous light that focused on Xiaoyi. Xiaoyi, you are really good. I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. Sisters, go ahead and beat him into a pig's head. The three girls' fingers were crackling and they looked at him angrily. The white-haired girl with twin ponytails also had deep eyes flashing with deep disappointment. Xiaoyi, Highness judged you. I need to think about whether following you is a normal choice. There was also a cold light flashing in the eyes of the Queen of Space. Xiaoyi's mouth twitched, and he spoke quickly. Stop. Everyone listen to me. Sister King Cheng, what you said doesn't match my opinion. My wives, you have been with me for so long. When have I ever ignored you? Have I ever refused you when you have a need? All my beast girls are the flesh in my hands. I will hold them in my hands as if they were my treasures and take good care of them. I won't let down any beast girl. It's Sister King Cheng's soul fluctuations. There's something strange. Chapter 559, The Future Empress's Explanation. Ziran said coldly. King Cheng can't lie. He loves you so much. But you let him down. You scumbag. Yun Bing and Yunshi snorted. That's right. You are a heartless man. The white-haired girl said disappointed lie. Xiaoyi, Gu King Cheng loves you to the core. But you have never cared about her. Your behavior really disappoints me. If I marry you in the future, will you treat me like this? The Queen of Space was somewhat shaken. I wondered whether I should tell my sister that this man was not worthy of my lifelong trust. Being a wife is not worth it. Being a protector may be the right choice. Xiaoyi's face was full of bitterness. I'm really not that kind of person. Sister King Cheng, maybe the future me owes you, but the current me also owes you. But I owe you. It's emotional. I really won't treat you like you said. The girls didn't believe it. It had already happened. Could King Cheng still lie? Impossible. At this time, a golden light gate appeared and the Queen Cheng Bing. She walked out. She had her hair tied in a high ponytail, reaching her waist. Compared to other beast girls, her figure is the most ordinary. The only highlight is her pair of super long legs. She looked at Xiaoyi with a complicated expression. Xiaoyi felt a pain in his heart. Bingshi, you know me best. Do you also think I am that kind of person? Cheng Bingshi sighed. Xiaoyi's heart sank. Even his first love thought he was that kind of person. Cheng Bingshi shook her head. Xiaoyi is not that kind of person. But 100 years later, maybe the facts have already happened and there may be misunderstandings. You can treat Sister King Cheng like that? There must be something fishy going on. Xiaoyi's eyes lit up. Yes, there is something fishy. I, Xiaoyi, will not ignore any beast. Sister King Cheng's soul fluctuations are still continuing. Let's continue to interpret them. Suspicion appeared on the faces of the women and the first queen. Returning our attention to the soul-stealing orb, we continue to interpret. My husband treated me like that. But I am full of resentment towards him. But all of this is my own fault. I deserve it. My husband is right. I am the one who is wrong. The girls widened their eyes. Cheng Bingshi, there really is something fishy going on. Ziran's voice trembled as she said in disbelief. King Cheng, is it possible that you will cheat on me in the future? Cheating? If King Cheng really cheated on her, it would be easy to understand why Xiaoyi treated her like that. Xiaoyi's face darkened. In the future, Sister King Cheng is having an affair? Grass. He felt very blocked and depressed. The more he thought of Sister King Cheng moaning under another man, the more depressed and angry he became. Fuck her. I never thought that I, Xiaoyi, would be cheated on one day. The women had no expression on their faces, and their views on Xiaoyi returned to normal. The Space Ancestor Queen cast a look of pity in her bright eyes. There are many beast girls here. But if one is not careful, she might be cheated on. Bima's beautiful eyes lit up, and she rushed over, hung on Xiaoyi, and said firmly, Xiaoyi, don't worry, I, Bima, will definitely marry you. I, Bima, will never cheat on you or betray you. Whether mentally, physically, or physically, I will never betray you. I don't know about Master. She might cheat on you. Ziran said angrily, Xianling, you'd better think before you speak. Otherwise I will put you in solitary confinement for 100 years. You are not allowed to marry Xiaoyi. The white-haired girl shrank her neck and stuck out her tongue. Okay. I was just kidding. Master has lived for 500 years and has never touched a man. He is a person who can endure loneliness. How could he cheat on his wife? If he cheats on his wife, it would be She looked towards Yun Bing, Yunxi and Cheng Bingxi. But when she saw the murderous eyes of the three women, she changed her mind. No, 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 the sisters are loyal to Xiaoyi until death, and will never cheat on Xiaoyi. Yun Bing and Yunxi snorted coldly. The corner of Cheng Bingxi's mouth twitched. This white-haired guy was really a funny person, but the fun had to be appropriate and he couldn't say anything nonsense. How could they possibly cheat on their husbands? Xiaoyi occupies their hearts completely, so there is no room for other men. I find it dirty even if I touch a male dog. That's right. I find Xiaoyi's clones dirty, so how could I possibly betray him? Yun Bing and Yunxi snorted coldly. The corner of Xiaoyi's mouth twitched. This is why he doesn't create a clone. These beast girls were unwilling to even touch his clones. But can you say that these beast girls will cheat? He didn't believe a word of it. Moreover, he doesn't create a clone because he is afraid of being cheated on by himself. In short, he would never create a clone. But when he thought about Gu Qingqiu cheating on him in the future, he felt uncomfortable and very depressed. Bima shrank his head. Did Sister King Cheng really have an affair? Which is why Xiaoyi treated her like that. Ziran's eyes lit up. Maybe there's something fishy going on again? Cheng Bingxi nodded. Let's continue interpreting. Everyone's attention was focused on the soul-capturing bead. My husband treated me like that. It's all my own fault. I deserve it. I was too greedy and tried to gain my husband's love. I don't deserve it. In my timeline, when my husband and the bitch Ziran first came to Hang House, I learned that they were husband and wife. When I first met my husband, I used the power of the Saint Realm to oppress him, and then sneered at him, so that he could recognize the gap between him and the bitch Ziran. Let him give up and give up the bitch Ziran. That is my husband's first impression of me. It is very bad. He hates rudeness, domineering and not listening to other people's opinions. Later, when they were in Hang House, I repeatedly persuaded the bitch Ziran to break up with him. The slut Ziran wanted to have sex with her husband, and I tried to stop her many times. My husband's impression of me has dropped to the lowest point. The most outrageous thing I did was to hold a knife across my husband's neck and force him to terminate the contract with the bitch Ziran. Later, I fell into a state of obsession and nearly died. The slut Ziran begged her husband to save me. My husband gave me a full body massage. I was exhausted like a dog. My impression of him has changed. After several massages, I gradually fell in love with my husband, and finally fell in love with him. But my husband's impression of me has always remained at the first impression. He is arrogant, rude, domineering, and self-righteous. He hates me very much. The reason why my husband and I were able to get married was because the slut Ziran used all her tricks to beg my husband, and he reluctantly agreed to marry me. The wedding day is the happiest day of my life. My husband and I are entering the bridal chamber, but that was the only time. After that, my husband ignored me and never showed me favor. He treated me like an outsider. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't change the stereotype of me in my husband's mind. After that, I stayed in an empty room for 100 years and became a resentful woman. A resentful woman who longed to be loved and who always remained chaste. Until 100 years later, my husband never touched me once. When the girls heard this, they suddenly understood. It turned out that King Cheng did not have an affair and did not betray Xiaoyi. All of this is the price and consequence of what King Cheng did in the beginning in her timeline. Xiaoyi's depression was swept away, and he was not cuckolded. Ziran's face was dark. According to what King Cheng said, I helped King Cheng, but she called me a slut. After I save the future King Cheng, I will definitely beat her up. I am Ziran, the most beautiful woman in the capital, a pure goddess. How can I be called a slut? I am flirty, but only to Xiaoyi, and only to him. Chapter 560, Clues to Resurrecting the Empress? Xiaoyi looked at Yun Bing and Yunxi. At this moment, they both looked dejected, as if they had completely lost the joy of their parents being rescued. Gu Qingqiu died because of him. He would bring her back to life. I can't bear to see my beast girl looking so depressed. He curled his lips and said, Sister Yun Bing, Sister Yunxi, you look so sad. Do you want to cuckold someone? The two beautiful twin girls Yun Bing and Yunxi were startled and said blankly, No, that's right. Who are you cuckolding? Are you cuckolding Xiaoyi? Xiaoyi, are you worried that we are cheating on you? Or do you want to be cheated on? Don't even think about it. It's impossible for us to do that. Those dirty men make us feel sick just by shaking their hands. There was a dangerous light in the beautiful eyes of the two women. Or do you not want us anymore? Be careful or we'll break your legs and lock you up in a place where there are only 10 of us beast girls, and imprison you for eternity. Xiaoyi, don't be silent. You'd better give us an explanation. Otherwise we won't be able to sleep. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he no longer wanted to joke. He pointed at the two bewildered old men in the distance and said, "You should settle your father-in-law and mother-in-law first. I am fully responsible for Sister Qingcheng's affairs. As for the green hat issue, let's not talk about it anymore." The twin beauties snorted coldly and let him go. They looked at the two old men standing at the bottom of the deep pit in the distance, unable to climb out, and a trace of embarrassment appeared on their faces. The death of their best friend Qingcheng attracted all their attention. They were so sad that they almost forgot about their parents. "Xiao Yi, you must save Qingcheng. Otherwise don't even think about getting into our bed." "Yes. Hey, this won't work. Xiao Yi hasn't favored me for a long time. I'm a little hungry." "Sister, you just got married to Xiao Yi, so you have no problem, but I have a problem." "Then let's change it. Xiao Yi, before you save Qingcheng, you must come to the Palace of Time and Space to favor us once every day." "Sister, this is a reward. Okay?" Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he nodded and said, "Okay, I promise you. Then you can come together, so I don't have to run around." "Yunxi, did she say the wrong punishment?" Yun Bing hurriedly pulled Yunxi away to go to their parents' place. Xiao Yi looked at Ziran, who waved her hand. "I want to stay and take care of Qingcheng, even though she said I was a slut. When I looked at myself, I found that I might actually be one." "Xiao Yi, what's that look in your eyes? Haven't you seen how wild I am?" Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. The white-haired girl with twin ponytails had a weird look on her face. "Master, are you a slut?" Master himself admitted it. TSK. It seems she doesn't know Master very well yet. If I have the chance in the future, I must see it with my own eyes. Xiao Yi glanced at the first queen and ignored her. Continued to interpret Gu Qingcheng's soul fluctuations. "I deserve it. I deserve to be ignored by my husband. But I don't regret marrying him. After returning from the space-time treasure, I became a wingman and improved Xiao Gu's approach, which yielded great results. My husband's attitude toward Xiao Gu is equivalent to his attitude towards me. It is completely different from my timeline. The opposite. I can see that my husband likes Xiao Gu, which is equivalent to liking me. I'm so happy." Xiao Zhou promised me that she would control my body on the wedding night. On the second day of the wedding night, Xiao Xi and her husband would enter the bridal chamber. On the third day of the wedding night, I would control my body. "Oh, hi, Gu Qingcheng. Finally got a taste of my husband." Old Gu, stand up. I am so happy to see my young husband being so fascinated by me, that he is willing to kneel down and lick me." A terrifying thought came to my mind. I want to train my husband to be like me when we are together. I didn't even tell Xiao Zhou about this thought. Xiao Yi's face darkened. Ziran and the white-haired space we looked at him strangely. Bima was surprised. "Xiao Yi, the last time you married, it wasn't 2 people, it was 3. You actually entered the bridal chamber with 3 beast girls. Wow, you are dirty. But I am still innocent. I feel a little bit at a disadvantage when I marry you in the future. What should I do?" Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. "Then you shouldn't marry me." Bima shook his head violently. "Don't even think about it. I, Bima, must marry you. I lost money. Just compensate me." Xiao Yi frowned. "How to compensate?" The white-haired girl blinked her bright eyes and said, "Hamper me a few more times and make me dirty too. Then we will both be dirty. And I won't lose out." The corner of Queen Ziran's mouth twitched. "The beads of your abacus are about to jump into our faces." Xiao Yi was speechless. "You white-haired bastard. I can't follow your train of thought." The white-haired girl with twin ponytails giggled and hugged her, rubbing her little face against his chest with an expression of enjoyment and intoxication. "This scent smells so good. She wants to smell it for the rest of her life." Xiao Yi touched her head and found a strand of hair on it. He smiled and said, "Okay, I promise you, but it has to be in the Palace of Time and Space. It takes too much time in the main space of Blue Star. Don't let your ponytails get loose, so you can control the direction when the time comes." The first queen's pretty face flushed rarely, and she said, "Human Emperor, when you say such things, can you avoid me and say these things? I'm not ashamed." Ziran also felt that it was inappropriate to discuss such matters in this kind of occasion. "Bima, go back to the Palace of Time and Space and practice hard. Your current realm is only the 8th level of the Venerable Realm, which is a bit low. Among my 10 beast girls, the one with the second lowest realm has all reached the great venerable perfection. When Qingcheng is saved, I will marry you." Xiao Yi gave Bima the authority to enter and exit the Palace of Time and Space freely. Bima was very obedient. He nodded and said, "Then kiss me." I want to take your first kiss today. This is my first kiss too. Xiao Yi confronted him directly. After a long time, he sent Biawane, whose legs were weak, into the palace of time and space. Ziren glared at him and said, "Continue to interpret King Cheng's soul fluctuations to see if she has left any clues to save her. At least she traveled through time and came back 100 years later. The vision is much higher than ours." Xiao Yi's eyes lit up. Yes, why didn't he think of that? The Queen of Space frowned when she heard this. She felt that her sister, the Time Empress, should be able to save Gu Qingcheng. If Gu Qingcheng could save herself, her sister, the Time Empress, would become unimportant. Xiao Yi held the soul-grabbing beat carefully and continued to interpret the fluctuations of Gu Qingcheng's soul. "My husband's food tastes so good. Slurp. I really want to eat him up every day. My husband likes me so much that he even ate me in the middle of the night. I was shocked when I found out. My husband actually has this side to him. I still don't know my husband well enough. From now on, I must know everything about him. It would be great if I could pry open his brain to see what dark thoughts he has. Thoughts that he has never revealed to us beast girls." Chapter 561, The First Queen. I want to be the wife of the human emperor. The first queen was also very confused. My sister, the Time Empress, is probably the one who wants to be the wife of the human emperor the most. Now is the time when the human emperor needs help the most. If my sister helps at this time, it should be easy to gain the human emperor's trust and favor. Why didn't she show up and help at this time? The first queen had a bad feeling in her heart. Could it be that my sister can't come here now because she is trapped by a powerful enemy? Or maybe, sister can't save Gu Qingcheng either? That's impossible. My sister, the Time Empress, has reached a realm above the Emperor realm and has the ability to make absolute adjustments to the time of Blue Planet. Go back in time, fast forward in time, or even reset time. Sister can do it, okay? Bringing someone back to life might seem like a fantasy to others, but in my sister's eyes, it's something that can be done easily. Xiao Yi and Ziren didn't know what the Empress next to them was thinking. At this time, they were interpreting the soul fluctuations of Dagu Qingchen, trying to find a way to bring her back to life from the soul fluctuations. It would be great if there was a magical power that would not harm my husband but could search his soul. I can then know all of my husband's secrets, train him into my Gu Qingcheng's form. Hiss. Xiao Yi felt the ghost of the dead coming out. Gu Qingcheng 100 years later is so terrifying. Is this habit a Y-ender? Will he become the Cheng brother who was chopped to death by a hatchet? People all say that brother Cheng died early, but I wonder if brother Cheng thinks you guys didn't do enough. Xiao Yi thought that Gu Qingcheng, 100 years later, might be tired of staying alone in an empty room and had too many resentments, so he wanted to understand him thoroughly and then control him completely. Ziren had a blank expression on her face. Qingcheng, I won't hurt you, but her resentment still remains. Xiao Yi, if you can really save Qingcheng, you have to compensate her a lot. Oh, I'll make up for Qingcheng a lot in 100 years. In this way, the resentment in her heart will gradually decrease, and her evil thoughts will gradually disappear. Xiao Yi nodded in surprise. Yes, if I compensate her more, I won't become brother Cheng. I am different from Cheng Ji. Cheng Jiayi's school girlfriends all look down on each other. But I am different. Qingcheng accepts my beast girls and is willing to live with them in harmony. Cheng Bingxi narrowed her eyes. As the boss of the harem, she needed to have a conversation with the two Gu Qingchengs. Search the soul? Pry open the head? Not allowed. Any action that harms Xiao Yi is not allowed. Cheng Bingxi would not allow such evil thoughts to arise in their minds. Otherwise, she will clean out the harem and make those with such evil intentions disappear completely. Everyone continued to interpret Dagu Qingcheng's soul fluctuations, but I will try my best to hide these dark thoughts from anyone. In short, I will never hurt my husband, and I will never let him suffer any grievances or pain. Alas, my husband is about to come into contact with the realm of rules. That first queen will definitely show up. Xiaozhu and I don't have much of an advantage anymore. Is this what I understand? The first queen immediately pricked up her ears. She was also curious about what kind of story would happen between her and the human emperor. Interpretation continues. The first queen is the condensed will of the origin of space, and her realm has reached the peak of the third stage of the emperor realm. It's only one step away from the star field level above the emperor realm. Her temptation to my husband is fatal. My husband is a pervert and he likes mysterious, high-class and luxurious women the most. I hope my husband won't be so obsessed with it. Alas, after coming to the world of rules, I found it strange that the first queen did not help and was hiding behind the scenes. Xiaogu and I will sleep forever. Ziran suddenly grabbed the soft flesh on Xiaoyi's waist and twisted it 360 degrees. Hiss! Xiaoyi gasped in pain and said speechless lie, Sister Ziran, what are you doing? Ziran looked at the first queen coldly and said to him in a sour tone, are you interested in a certain queen now and want to have sex with her? We sisters have good figures and pretty faces, but you go and pick up a rule will. Ziran was so jealous that she was aroused. Sheng Bing she folded her hands in front of her chest and said coldly, Xiaoyi, Sister King Sheng is right. You are just a little pervert. I like it when I see a high-class mysterious beautiful woman. You are the human emperor and she is the empress. You are a perfect match. Even I, the head of the harem, am envious. Xiaoyi's face turned dark. Sister King Cheng, can you please stop sending out soul fluctuations randomly? You have caused me so much trouble.